I was going to say English, but British anyway.
Irish.
Irish. Yeah. Keep going. Can I keep going? Irish,
European.
British, European. It was great to see a young one get his chance, because we seem to give the young coaches from abroad a chance in our country and yet never really promote from within ourselves. So I'm delighted that he's been given a contract. It's good to see a manager doing okay and doing well and being rewarded for it. Well done to him.
That sounded like you've got a sort of reception bell on your desk, right? Is that what you hit? Is that what you hit to get a cup of tea brought to you at home? Is that
to keep going in the show? I have about 4 cups of coffee. I've just knocked one over.
The other thing, there are a couple of other things here with Keith Andrews and Brentford, and there've been a fair few articles doing the rounds about, you know, head coaches at Brentford and then what happens to them when they go elsewhere. Thomas Frank was one, Dean Smith is another. But one of the points of the article is everybody in other positions at Brentford within the exec has been there for a long time. So Steve was talking about directors of football about an hour ago on the show.
Yeah.
Phil Giles has been there since 2015. You become a head coach at Brentford, nothing to take away from your own skills, but you become part of a system that works, Rob, that is working.
Yeah, but you can see it two ways. That you say, well, actually, how good was Thomas Frank? How good is he? You can question it in another way to say, you know, was he holding the team back? I'm not sure that's particularly relevant, but I do feel that you're given every chance, and it's the openness, the transparency within the organisation. We talked about how it is with Bournemouth with selling players on. I think with Brentford, the transparency's there for the managers. And I think that's just as clear. And it is that interesting one to say it was I was at the game when Tottenham went back with Thomas Frank going back to his game, and he got a standing ovation. Yeah. There is no bad way that he was going to leave because the understanding was there. He didn't get a standing ovation from the Spurs fans, but it was something that I think they've found the maximum way to operate within the structure that they've got that allows the manager to be as good as he can be. And I think Keith Andrews is flourishing within that.
It's the perfect setup, isn't it, Rob? You look at Igor Thiago that's come in and 17 goals in the Premier League after having a season out injured. The recruitment's just crazy. Think about the amount of forwards that play for Brentford. You're thinking Tony, you're thinking Mbeumo at Manchester United. Wissa's another one. Thanks, Mark. Really good assist, that one. But in terms of Brentford, the change in style, I'd say, in terms of the numbers for
Ollie Watkins.
There you go. Keep going, keep cooking. Fast breaks and counter-attacks have been a real part of Brentford this season. They've had the most shots from fast breaks this season with 44 and scored the most goals with 9. They are such a threat under Keith Andrews.
Do you think, and you did this as well, do you think it helps your managerial career that you've played up and down the leagues?
Yeah, I think so. I think what it does, if you've played the game, then to a certain level, it gives you a little bit of kudos, if you like, to start with. But I think what you've got to learn very, very quickly is whatever you've done in the past, when you're the main man in that situation, you've got to know what you're trying to achieve and what you're going to set out to do and how you're going to go about it. Yes, a little bit levels. Certainly in the lower divisions, and I've talked about it before, in the lower divisions, I have nothing but the hugest respect for them because of the constant change and turnaround, like we said. And I do believe it'll help you if you've been non-league and then you've managed higher up. My thing is now is these lads who've done really well in the lower divisions, why doesn't Phil Parkinson ever get linked with a real big job if it came around, for example? There's one for you. And the lad at Stockport, he's another one who's done tremendous. Dave Challoner. For years, he's done terrifically well. Dave Challoner, I believe, has never been outside the top 5 for the last 10 years of where he's been managing. It's quite remarkable, isn't it? You know, he's had a remarkable career over the last 10 years or so.
And they are 5th at the moment, are Stockport in League One. Shrewsbury are down to 10 at home to Walsall, and they still trail 2-1. And Nathan Albon, penalty at Cambridge.
In the final minutes of stoppage time to MK Dons, a chance for them to equalise. As it stands, Cambridge are going top of the table, but here comes Aaron Collins off the bench for MK Dons and slots it away. into the bottom corner, and the 1,000 MK Dons fans go ballistic in the away end. MK Dons equalise in the final minute of stoppage time. It's Cambridge 1, MK Dons 1.
And it would stretch their unbeaten run to 10 in League Two if they've rescued a point there. Back to Bournemouth, where they're in stoppage time. John?
The last attack of the game, Bournemouth 1, Sunderland 1. It's onto the edge of the penalty area. Tough shot is blocked and cleared away by Sunderland, and it looks like, Franny, we're going to settle for a point apiece here.
It certainly is, John. Yeah, it's been an entertaining game, really. Both sides sort of been bright and positive, but Bournemouth still pushing right in these final moments.
They are. Toth just on the right-hand side, swings over the cross looking for Adley on the back. Comes to Ryan with the shot, comes off the boot of Enes Unal and goes over the crossbar, and that will probably be that.
Fair result, I think, in the end. Bournemouth would probably be the most disappointed out of the two, but yeah, Sunderland would be delighted to take a point from this game, I think.
We played 99 minutes in this second half of what was 8 minutes added on. We had a bit of nonsense, so there's probably going to be a few more minutes here. Bournemouth 1, Sunderland 1.
Let's go to the full times in the Championship, starting at Portsmouth, where Hull have won. Chris Wise.
They've won by a goal to nil. Matt Crooks with it, 73rd minute, total mess in the Portsmouth defence. Adrian Segacic with a short back pass. Schmidt, the goalkeeper, under pressure from McBurney, cleared it as far as Matt Crooks, just on the edge of the penalty area, stroked it into the unguarded net. So for Hull, this is the first time in 60 years that they've won 5 straight games away from home in the league. They're up to third. They're 3 points behind those automatic promotion places too. They're in a good moment right now, and Portsmouth still peering over their shoulders down at the bottom. Portsmouth 0, Hull 1.
Yeah, Hull third, as Chris says, 3 points off Middlesbrough. Derby very much in the playoff mix. They're 3 points off Wrexham. Charlie.
Yeah, there's a feeling that they needed that today as well. Derby 3, Blackburn 1. Derby back into the top 10. They had to come from behind though to hand Michael O'Neill back-to-back defeats. Blackburn led at half-time after Hayden Carter scored in first half stoppage time. But Derby so much better after the break. Brereton Diaz levelled against his old club. Matt Clark put them in front, and Rhian Brewster made sure of all 3 points in the last 10 minutes. Derby 3 points off the playoffs for now. Blackburn 4 clear of the relegation zone.
Leicester in the relegation zone. Chris Coles.
These are troubling times for Leicester City. They've lost 2-0 at home to Norwich in Gary Rowett's first home game in charge. And in truth, Norwich didn't really have to work too hard for this victory. A 9th win in 11 for them, and another on the road. Both goals in the second half. Ben Slimani off the bench to shoot into the corner. Ahmed prodding in a really badly defended free kick at the back post. 9 points now the gap to the playoffs for Norwich. 9 the number of games Leicester are without a win. I'm not sure 2 points from 2 games counts as a honeymoon period for Gary Rowett, but if it does, it's over. They could be 4 points from safety if results go against them later. Leicester 0, Norwich 2.
In League One, a David McGoldrick hat-trick has given Barnsley a 3-1 win at Leyton Orient. Northampton and Peterborough finished level at 1-1. In League Two, Walsall have won 2-1 at Shrewsbury. Swindon have been held at home by Bristol Rovers. It finished 1-1 at the County Ground. And at Cambridge, Nathan?
The referee is being booed from the pitch because it's finished. Cambridge 1, MK 1. A controversial penalty in the final minute of stoppage time, tucked away by MK Dons' Aaron Collins. Came off the bench, put the ball away, but yeah, doubts about whether it should have been a penalty. Sean Raggett giving it away. It was Shane Lavery who'd put Cambridge in front early in the second half from a goal-mouth scramble. Cambridge were heading top. They had first place in between their fingers, but they let it slip through their grasp late on. Full-time, Cambridge 1, MK 1.
More corner nonsense, John Southall?
Absolute nonsense.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah,
Honestly.
it's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. And there goes the full-time whistle. It's finished 1-1, Bournemouth 1, Sunderland 1. But Franny, we must have had that corner almost taken 3 or 4 times, and the ref had to go in and stop the pulling and the jostling.
Yeah, there was a huge amount of players and bodies in and around the goalkeeper, wasn't there? Trying to obviously put pressure on the keeper with the ball coming in, but as you say, just stay on your feet. I mean, you're not going to win a foul with the jostling and the wrestling that's going on. The referee dealt with it pretty well, albeit there was some quite strange decisions at times today, and we could have seen a penalty. Bournemouth a little bit disappointed, maybe not to have capitalised on the chances and the dominance they had in the game. Sunderland would be delighted to take a point, I'm sure.
And they almost pinched it at the end there, Bournemouth, when Ryan cut in from the right-hand side, deflected off Alderete, the centre-back, and was inches away from that bottom right corner.
Could have gone anywhere, wasn't it? It wasn't like a measured clearance from him, and it went out for a corner, as you say. Another few feet, and it would have been in the back of the net, but fate falls on the side of Sunderland this afternoon.
So it's finished 1-1, the opening goal in the first half. Mayenda tapping in the equaliser in the second. Just before the equaliser, Tyler Adams with a yellow card for a challenge that VAR looked at, could have been a red, got away with a yellow. Then a Tavernier cross from the left-hand side. Evan Nielsen was at the back post, off his shoulder, off the bar, and then in it went for the equaliser. His 6th of the season, so a point apiece as the Sunderland players go over to their fans on the far side. They've got their 7-hour journey home. They've got a point in the bag. Bournemouth 1, Sunderland 1.
Thank you, John. Thank you, Franny. Do you think they're going to have to do something about corners, Rob?
They will. They'll change it. I think they've got to address something that they allowed a bit more physicality in there. I think clubs have been very, very clever and very cute as to ask questions as to what is permissible and what can they do, and then push that step by step, just fraction by fraction, to a point now where it's unmanageable at games.
Martin Samuel wrote a great piece on it this week, actually, and the gist of it being, referees pick up on it. I know you're not a referee. We know we've been joking. You aren't a referee spokesman, but referees will pick on the slightest thing anywhere else on the pitch. But now corners are the biggest. It feels like the biggest free-for-all that there is.
Well, it's been, and the guys touched on it there. It's before the corner is taken, so it can't be a free kick. So you can do whatever you want. You can get booked for pushing someone over, but that's unlikely. But you can do what you want. But as soon as the corner's taken, then stop the contact, and then it becomes a really, really. This is where it becomes unmanageable, because you're looking at timings, you're looking at what someone's doing as the ball's kicked, or has it been kicked. It's nigh on impossible for the ref, because he's got, half a dozen of those situations within a 6-yard box.
It's would you like to defend corners as a player now, if you were playing?
Well, it all seems to be about blocks these days, doesn't it? And it's looking for little deflections. How can we box the goalkeeper in so he can't come and get it? We've seen it at Everton the other week where I watched it.
You were there on Monday night.
Yeah, on Monday night, and Lemons handled it particularly well. But at one stage, there was every player practically in the 6-yard box. So you're going to get contact. I always think that from a corner, still 30-odd%. Dave will probably tell us the situation of goals scored from them, because there's that amount of people in the box. But it seems now like everybody's just looking for an opportunity to have a block and get somebody out the road of it. And Arsenal have been terrific at it, haven't they, with set pieces and what have you. It's been a huge part of the game, always has been, from going back in the 70s. You remember the famous Leeds team where they used to just flip it in and ball get round the near post. But now there's so much going on. It's like a rugby scrum, isn't it?
It was tedious the other night, wasn't it?
Tedious to watch with it. And fair play to the goalkeeper. He handled it fantastically well. But that's what they seem to be obsessed with, is blocking the goalkeeper.
Just on the goalkeeper, Senny Lomon's made the first contact on 5 corners versus Everton. No keeper in the Premier League's made more first contacts in a single game this season.
What do you mean first contact?
So caught or punched.
Oh, right, OK, right. Right, so got to the ball first.
Yes,
right, okay.
Made the first contact.
And a lot of that, Rob, he said afterwards, was starting behind his line.
Yeah, buy your space. Get your space wherever you can. And you'll have to look around what the players were doing around him as well, what his teammates were doing. And this is what you need. Chelsea did it by moving all the players up the pitch, or not all of them, 3 or 4, to create space for Sanchez. And we all talked about that it was a new idea. Well, you've got to find your space to get to the ball, and that's key for a keeper.
There seems to be a one as well, though, that the defending team seem to be obsessed with protecting your goalkeeper, Rob, and putting somebody in between
We're a
you.
precious bunch, Steve.
Yeah, I know,
You
you're
need
precious bunch. But I'm going back to Big Schmeichel. He was just interested in getting a bit of space so he could come and make first contact. I like that one, first contact. And but it's and then a lot of teams try to block in him, but for me it just seems to make things worse if you try and be goal side
yes.
if you like. If you want to be goal side to protect your goalkeeper.
Yeah, it's a balance. If your keeper likes the contact, I used to like it. I used to use the player as then to try and get there. It didn't always work, admittedly. But then you're saying, okay, some keepers will just say no, just keep them clear. But then you're in danger of boxing your own goalkeeper.
You're in, yeah, absolutely.
We will leave it there. Steve, thank you. Rob, thank you. Statman as well. See you all soon. Steve Bruce, Rob Green, Statman Dave with us this afternoon. Pakistan are absolutely flying at the men's T20 World Cup. Let's get the latest from Atif Nawaz.
Yeah, they certainly are. They're on 147 for no loss halfway through the 14th over here at Pallekele. They've got a steep equation to overcome here. If they win this match by 64 runs, they will qualify for the semi-finals of the T20 World Cup. It's a nervous watch for New Zealand, who will be hoping that Pakistan can just slow up a little bit. But at the moment, the shots are coming from both sides. Fakhar Zaman on 78 of 37, and Sahibzada Farhan, who in the course of this innings has scored more runs in an edition of this World Cup than of any T20 World Cup ever, breaking Virat Kohli's record of 319. So Pakistan 149 for no loss after 13.5 and looking good.
So 64 is what they need to win by.
64 runs is the margin that they need to overcome the net run rate deficit that they're facing at the moment with New Zealand.
OK, Atif, thank you. Atif Nawaz, keeping us up to date on that. England will top that group and are in the semi-finals already. That final place between New Zealand and Pakistan. We'll go around all of our 3 o'clock games very shortly here on 5 Live on an afternoon where in the Premier League it's already finished. Bournemouth 1, Sunderland 1. First, Nick Qureshi with the BBC News at 2:37.
The voice of the UK.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
Good afternoon. US and Israeli forces have carried out strikes on cities across Iran in what President Trump has described as major combat operations. State media say a girls' school in southern Iran's been hit with dozens of people killed. Here's security analyst Mikey Kay.
The likely primary targets will be the Ayatollah and high-value targets inside the Iranian Guard Corps, the IRGC. The other primary objectives are ballistic missile sites and the enriched uranium. The enriched uranium is a much, much harder target to engage.
Donald Trump has urged Iranians to rise up against their leaders, claiming the regime is theirs to take. But the UK's former National Security Advisor, Lord Ricketts, warns the strikes could lead to chaos inside Iran.
It's a very dangerous course. We've tried it in the past, in Iraq, in Libya, and it hasn't turned out well. So I think the idea you can meddle with the regime and somehow come out with a group of people who are more pro-Western, more ready to respect human rights, there's absolutely no precedent I can think of for that.
Iran says it's launched a crushing response targeting Israeli cities and US bases across the Middle East. Jordan and the United Arab Emirates have both confirmed they have intercepted missiles. There are also reports of strikes aimed at American sites in Saudi Arabia, Kuwait and Qatar. Dr. Badr al-Saif from Kuwait University says the outbreak of military action is the region's worst nightmare.
It just tells you how high the threat perception of Iran is to begin by hitting their closest neighbors. Granted, they think that it's the US bases that they're hitting, but they're really hitting their neighbors. And those are Gulf neighbors that have been trying very hard to avert war.
The Foreign Office has warned against all travel to Israel and the Palestinian territories and has urged British nationals in other Middle Eastern countries to immediately shelter in place. Airspace across the region has been closed and dozens of flights cancelled. Here's our business correspondent Mark Ashdown.
Virgin Atlantic cancelled its service from London Heathrow to Dubai. British Airways cancelled flights to Tel Aviv and Bahrain until Wednesday. And Wizz Air confirmed it suspended all its flights to and from Israel, Dubai, Abu Dhabi and Amman with immediate effect up until including next Saturday. Flights also to Saudi Arabia cancelled until Tuesday. So major disruption in what is a very congested airspace anyway.
Sir Keir Starmer is discussing the strikes in a series of calls with allies after chairing a meeting of the government's Emergency Cobra Committee. The UK was not involved in the action. Downing Street has stressed it doesn't want to see further escalation into a wider regional conflict. President Macron says war in the Middle East will have grave consequences for international peace and security. The French leader is calling for an urgent meeting of the UN Security Council. We'll be reporting on all the developments here on 5 Live throughout the day. You can also follow events online on the BBC News Live page, listen to the live news audio stream on BBC Sounds and watch the BBC News channel. But that's the 5 Live news for now.
When the business hustle is on, when the boardroom drama hots up, when sales pitches really deliver results, or don't.
All that, and they made £3.
£3.13.
Oh yeah, that'll save them.
Nothing brings us together like great TV. And the TV licence covers you to watch all TV channels plus BBC iPlayer, so you can keep up with all the latest boardroom battles. It also funds everything you love from the BBC, including live radio, like this.
This is 5 Live Sports with Mark Chapman.
Listen on BBC Sounds.
Already in the Premier League today, Bournemouth 1, Sunderland 1, Alan Shearer and Ashley Williams alongside Gabby for Match of the Day. Tonight, 10:30 on BBC One. From 3 o'clock, all the goals as they go in England and Scotland from our base, which is Anfield. West Ham are Liverpool's visitors. Ian Dennis.
Well, Liverpool have made just the one change. Joe Gomez starts at right back. Curtis Jones is the one to drop out, means Szoboszlai will move back into midfield. As for West Ham United, they know 3 points will take them out of the bottom three, and they're unchanged.
Let's hear from one of the West Ham players, shall we? Crescencio Somerville scored 4 goals in his last 6 games for the club, and they were his first Premier League goals since October 2024. He missed the second half of last season with a hamstring injury, and he's been talking to Bessie Glover.
I think after a frustrating season where I got injured, it was more like a push, a challenge for myself to come back even better, and I'm just happy to be back on the pitch with the team as well and show my ability to the fans, what they've been waiting for.
Do you think having your baby has given you a new sort of perspective?
I think it motivates me even more. When she grows up, I want her to remember Daddy worked hard for you, you know, and I want to give her the best youth, what I didn't have, you know.
It feels like everything's clicking for you, but also for the team. Like, it sort of feels like you guys are in quite a good place at the moment. Do you think that's fair to say?
Yes, for sure. I think we improved a lot from like how it was in the start of the season. We know that we have to fight till the last game. We're gonna do this for the fans as well, because I think we belong in the Premier League.
Talk to me about Nuno Espirito Santo and sort of the impact that he's had on your game.
I think, you know, the coach is a top manager, you know, top person as well. When he first joined, I had a lot of conversations with him. He asked me how he can get me on top of my game and get me even higher on the levels. He gets something out of me, I don't know, it's crazy. Like, I want to be better every day, 1% every day. And I think you can see it in the games. I try to improve, I try to be consistent as well. I think that's the most important thing, and he helped me a lot to improve in this aspect.
When you scored against Tottenham, you obviously hugged him afterwards.
Yes, yeah.
What was the reason behind that?
It was a relief, like, you know, you read things, you see things, people, they doubt you. For me, I like that, you know, because I know what I'm capable of. So if people doubt you, you just have to show them. And it was more like to the coach, I got you and we are in this together, we will fight till the end.
Well, I mean, it certainly works. You've been on quite a run. Can you explain to us what Nuno wants from you, like in terms of your style of football?
He always say, be free, you know, be yourself, do your thing. He know what I'm capable of, 1v1 in the wide areas, inside. It's more like a freestyle, do what you want, but within the lines. I think for a winger, that is the best thing to hear, just do your thing and do what you're good at.
You're in good form at the moment. What do you think the mentality is like, sort of approaching the end of the season?
I think we improved a lot from what it was at the start. I think we have to take all the positives from the last couple of games, and now we see it game by game. It's gonna be a fight. We don't belong here, like where we're at. So it's gonna be a fight till the end. Every game for us is a final. And I think that needs to be the mentality.
I feel like from this conversation, I feel like you are the sort of person that thrives in that situation though, sort of every game being a fight, every game being a final. Like, do you like that pressure?
Yes, I like it. And I like to push my teammates as well to get the same mentality, because we can't look in front. We have to see it day by day and game by game, and We have Liverpool at the weekend, very big game for us. So it's gonna be a final. That's it. Every game we have to show them.
I've read somewhere that you've got a vision board and you put things on the vision board. Is that true?
Oh yeah, that's true.
Is it?
Yeah. I do this always, like in the summer before the season. Then like in the half season, I see if I reach it already or if I have to change my perspective. But I will keep that for myself because I'm very superstitious. Like if I tell people my plans, maybe it's not gonna work. Maybe in the end of the season I will tell you this.
Okay, fine.
But right now I won't tell you.
Crescencio Somerville with Betty Glover, Liverpool against West Ham, our base from 3 o'clock. It's an afternoon, busy afternoon of horse racing across Britain. John Hunt at Newbury for us this afternoon, but keeping an eye on everything elsewhere. And you couldn't write this, could you? Your first Saturday back after being at the Winter Olympics and covering the Winter Olympics for us. And the name of a horse you've seen won today?
Yeah, Eddie My Eagle. he was straight and true, and he landed over the jumps really safely, Mark. Yeah, he was good. Yeah, it's funny how that works out, isn't it, sometimes?
Isn't it?
Yeah. In the last hour, Mark, there's been lots of really exciting action. Just to rattle through it for you, at Kelso, Protectorat, Dan Skelton's star. He booked his ticket for the Cheltenham Festival, the Ryanair chase, but not without a scare. He was the long odds-on favourite today at Kelso, but he overjumped at the second last fence and threatened to come down just for a split second, but eventually he was okay. Also up at Kelso, the big Grade 2 Premier Novices Hurdle, won by a horse called Montmares, who won well for trainer Tom Lacey and Stan Shepherd. I suppose the headline out of that, though, is that the horse that beat him here at Newbury over Christmas and the New Year, No Drama This End, had his form really franked there. Montmares was no match for No Drama This End over the New Year period. So that's a big pointer to No Drama This End at the Cheltenham Festival. And in the last few minutes, the Grimthorpe handicap chase at Doncaster, won very easily by Jasmine de Grugy. He's only a 7-year-old. The Grand National surely is going to come too soon for him this year, but he's certainly a staying chaser to watch for the future. He was impressive today.
Thank you very much, John. Let's go around all of the rest of the football. We'll be back with John at Newbury a little bit later on. So in the Championship earlier, Derby 3, Blackburn 1, Leicester 0, Norwich 2, Portsmouth 0, Hull 1, and that takes Hull into third. Leaders Coventry are looking for their 4th straight win. Stoke are their visitors. They've already faced them twice this season and have had mixed results. Julia Bold.
Yes, Coventry lost this fixture in the 3rd round of the FA Cup 1-0, while it was a 1-0 win away in the league. In his programme notes today, Frank Lampard tells supporters there will be more challenges to come this season, starting today. Just one change, Jack Rudoni in the number 10 role for Sakamoto. Meanwhile, the visitors Stoke had to work hard for a win over struggling Oxford midweek. They've made 4 changes today. Ben Gibson comes in at centre-back, Bae-Jun Ho, Tatsuki Seko and Ben Pearson all go into the midfield.
So with Millwall, with Hull winning, Millwall have dropped to 4th. They're at Preston, who are 5 off the playoffs. Sani Rajavajan.
Well, after being the sideshow in the Snoop Dogg Swansea Circus in the week, PNE are glad to be home despite a draw not helping their fall down the table. Only one victory here since New Year's Day, and Millwall breezed past Birmingham to get that 3rd, although it's dropped to 4th now, as you say. But a Finn squad, Alex Neil's worked wonders, really. Star men at the top and at the back. Femi Aziz has 8. Defender Tristan Kramer scored 1 and set up 2 in their midweek 3-0. They're unchanged. Robbie Brady in for PNE. Despite their wobbles, they're still only 5 points off the playoffs.
Ipswich are unbeaten in their last 10 at home in the league, and they're up against Swansea, who've lost just one of their last 5. Emily Herbert.
Two sides in form, both with something tangible to chase. Ipswich 6 points off the automatic promotion spots with 2 games in hand. Swansea arrive still eyeing the playoffs, 8 points to make up, but the numbers aren't kind. 3 straight defeats to Ipswich and 10 losses in 16 away games this season. 3 changes for the home side. Davis shakes off a midweek knock. 5 for Swansea. Stamanic is back after suspension.
Wrexham have that final playoff spot as things stand. They're at Charlton, who haven't scored more than 1 goal at home since October. So that takes in 12 games in all competitions. Jonathan Ledyard.
not scoring enough and not winning enough significantly. Just 3 league wins in 2026, which is why they're looking over their shoulders. That Leicester defeat did them just fine. Far cry from November when these two promoted clubs last met. Charlton just outside the playoffs, Wrexham in the bottom half. Now there's no stopping Rob and Ryan's boys. Most points of any championship team since Christmas. They could go 5th if results go their way. And speaking of 5, that's the number of Charlton changes Nathan Jones has made, including Will Mannion, who makes his first start of the season in goal. Kiefer Moore and Ali Rothbone are recalled for Wrexham.
Southampton just outside the playoffs after a big win during the week. They are at Sheffield Wednesday, who are already down, of course, and looking to avoid their 12th straight league defeat. Adam Cottier.
It's been another difficult week for Sheffield Wednesday, with relegation confirmed on Sunday. They lost for the 25th time in the Championship this season on Wednesday, hours after learning that the consortium chosen as the preferred bidder for the stricken club had pulled out of the £47.8 million deal, citing their outlay could no longer be justified. Wednesday could now face starting next season in League One with another hefty points deduction. Informed Southampton were 10 points from the top 6 in January. They could be a point away from the playoffs come 5 p.m.
Pakistan have just lost a wicket at the men's T20 World Cup, so they're 177 for 1 after 16 overs against Sri Lanka. Huge match at the bottom of the championship today. Oxford in 23rd, at home to West Brom, who are just above the drop zone and looking for a new manager again, Angus Patterson.
Well, despite being granted planning permission this week to build a new stadium across town, Oxford's goal to stay in the Championship is not going to plan. Winless in 6 and 6 points from safety, it's now or never for them. And Matt Bloomfield brings in Donnelly, Konak and Hillick in 3 changes to the team that lost at Stoke City on Wednesday. West Brom sacked Eric Ramsey after their 1-1 draw with Charlton the night before. No wins in his 9 games, and they have the worst away record in the league. But a win today would send them 4 points clear of the drop after the results earlier. 2 changes for them, the injured Nat Phillips replaced by Christian Bielik, and Diakite out for captain Jed Wallace.
The other match in the Championship this afternoon, QPR are at home to Sheffield United. Earlier in League One, Leyton Orient 1, Barnsley 3, Northampton 1, Peterborough 1. We'll start the 3 o'clock games with the leaders, Cardiff, who suffered their first defeat in 13 last weekend, and they're at Doncaster, as is Rob Law.
Cardiff boss Brian Barry Murphy says they need to use that Plymouth defeat as fuel to push on towards promotion. That's especially with Lincoln City lurking just a point behind them. Cardiff backed by almost 3,000 travelling fans today after away tickets were reduced to as little as £12. 4 changes for them. No Amari Kellyman, a huge blow, having scored 5 in his last 6. Ruben Colwell gets his first start since November. As for Doncaster, forever young Billy Sharp drops to the bench. Brandon Hanlon replaces him up front. Grant McCann's side have won 3 of the last 4 as they continue to edge themselves away from the relegation zone.
Lincoln chasing down Cardiff. They're just a point behind them. They're on a 16-match unbeaten run. So if they beat Blackpool and Cardiff drop points, they could be top by the end of the day. Mark Webber is at the LNER Stadium.
Positivity permeates the Sinsel Bank era. Stadium expansion revealed this week, and 6,000 season tickets already sold for next season. Lincoln feels a long way from the time spent languishing in non-league not so long ago. It's an unchanged Michael Scabala side looking for home win number 13 this season. Meanwhile, the Seasiders are just looking to steady the ship at the moment as they sail close to the relegation zone. 3 changes for Blackpool. Club captain George Honeyman starts. Tom Bloxman, Josh Bowler join him, meaning Niall Ennis, Leighton Clarkson and Karoy Anderson drop to the bench.
Earlier in League 2, Swindon 1, Bristol Rovers 1 and Shrewsbury 1, Walsall 2. MK Dons got a late penalty to get a 1-1 draw at Cambridge. So that draw for Cambridge means Bromley stay top of the table. They are up against Accrington Stanley this afternoon. The visitors have lost their last 2. Sam Ashew.
Yeah, and the league leaders are winless in 3 themselves, Mark, but they've been impossible to beat at home this season. It's now 19 without loss at Hayes Lane. Bromley manager Andy Woodman goes 2 up top for the first time all season. Nicky Kabamba partners top goal scorer Michael Cheek for this one. Mid-table Accrington have a new-looking front line as well. Dave Abimbola makes his first start, having joined on loan from Bolton last month, but this is a big opportunity for Bromley to extend the gap between them and the chasing pack in League 2.
Big opportunity for Hearts this afternoon. It's the Old Firm tomorrow. Commentary on 5 Live from midday. So the leaders could go 7 clear at the top if they beat Aberdeen. Connie McLaughlin at Tynecastle.
Forget about the Old Firm tomorrow, Mark, because it's Hearts' job to keep up their own pace with a win against Aberdeen, who, let's be honest, have had a bit of a challenging season and one to forget. But the home side, no Stuart Findlay or Islam Chesnikov, they're out. In come Jamie McCart and Landry Kabori as direct replacements. For Aberdeen, Dimitar Mitov returns in goal. Liam Morrison starts instead of Tom McIntyre, and Topi Keskinen takes over from Kenan Balalovic on the wing. There used to be a nightclub, Mark, in Edinburgh called Lulu. I feel like I'm back in there again, because I suspect that the guys inside Tynecastle are cranking up the noise just to crank up this atmosphere. They are doing their job. 10 points for them so far. Will they get the win? We'll find out.
Thank you, Connie. Other matches: Falkirk against Kilmarnock, Livingston versus St Mirren, Motherwell are at home to Dundee United. As we were hearing earlier, don't rule Motherwell out of this. And Dundee are at home to Hibs. To the Premier League, we'll head to Anfield shortly. The teams are in the tunnel for Liverpool against West Ham, first to St James's Park. Newcastle looking to avoid their third home defeat in a row in the league. They're taking on Everton. Lee Blakeman.
Teams in the tunnel here as well, and Anthony Gordon starts against his former club. In exactly which role, we'll wait and see. He's yet to score against Everton since he left in 2023. One change for Newcastle from the defeat at Manchester City last Saturday as Joe Linton comes in for Joe Willock. 4 wins from the last 5 in all competitions, but just 1 win in 6 in the Premier League. Everton have lost just 1 of their last 9 away games. They make 4 changes from the side that started the defeat to Manchester United on Monday. Dwight McNeil starts for the first time since his deadline day move to Palace fell through. O'Brien, Mikalenko and Beto also come in.
To Turf Moor, Burnley trying to make it 3 matches unbeaten. They're facing Brentford. Maz Faruqi.
Yeah, they really need to channel the fight of that comeback against Crystal Palace, that stoppage time point against Chelsea too, if there's to stand any chance of avoiding the drop. We're told Marcus Edwards picked up a knock in training, so that's why he doesn't start for Scott Parker this afternoon, and why Jakob Brun-Larsen does, as do James Ward-Prowse and Lucas Pires in that Burnley midfield. Caoimhe Kelleher's partner's just given birth to twins. That's why he isn't included in the Brentford matchday squad, so Hakan Valden-Marsen starts in goal. That's one of 5 changes from Keith Andrews. Michael Kayode returns from injury. He also comes in, as do Yahol Yarmouk, Mikkel Damsgaard and Kevin Schade.
Let's go back to the early game. Bournemouth came from behind to get a 1-1 draw at home to Sunderland. Here's Marcus Tavernier.
I feel like it was a scrappy game from start to finish. It was a tough battle out there and a lot of individual duels which were going to win the game, but I think both were equally as good as each other out there today. And we knew in the second half we had to come out fast. The gaffer identified points in putting balls in early, and we started to do that and create some more chances to get back on the game.
Speaking of putting balls in, you're getting a lot of praise, rightly, for the quality of that delivery for the goal.
Yeah, it's something we work on every week, especially as wide players, putting the ball in the box for the centre forwards or the other opposite winger to get onto, and luckily enough it fell to Evan Nielsen today to get his goal.
Disappointing, I'm sure, to go behind early in the game, but you have a track record this season of keeping the heads up when you do get those setbacks, and there's so many times you've come back to sometimes win and, as today, draw a game. Yeah,
I think that's us as a club. We never give up, and we know the first half wasn't ourselves. The gaffer said before the game he wanted us to show our identity again, and we didn't do that in the first half, not nowhere near as enough as we should have. And in the second half we knew that we needed reaction, and we got that today in the second half. But I think we have to do that for the full 90 minutes to come away with something more positive there.
Yeah, and 8 games unbeaten now in the league, which is a wonderful track record. I'd imagine, though, you'd probably be wondering if 1 or 2 of these draws could be turned into wins.
Yeah, definitely. That's always the plan, to try and win games of football, and even if it's not your day, trying to find something to fall for you. But today it wasn't meant to be, but we dust ourselves down because we got a quick turnaround on Tuesday night.
Pakistan was Marcus Tavernier after Bournemouth's 1-1 draw at home to Sunderland. Pakistan 186 for 2 in the 18th over against Sri Lanka. Farhan unbeaten on 94 off 56 balls. Pakistan need to win that by 64 runs if they're going to go past New Zealand and qualify for the semi-finals. Let's head to Anfield. Liverpool against West Ham. This is our base with all the goals as they go in up and down the country with Stephen Warnock and, first of all, Ian Dennis.
The unmistakable sound of You'll Never Walk Alone. But here, under the clear blue skies and the sun shining, it is with a little bit different today at Anfield, because there is a new initiative, the Signs of Unity, where fans are encouraged to take part in singing the iconic anthem, ensuring that those who are deaf or hard of hearing can actually join in. And in fact, we saw images of even Sir Kenny Dalglish and his wife Marina doing a little bit of sign language as they were joining in with You'll Never Walk Alone, as that famous anthem ends and the match is underway. BBC Radio 5 Live with Liverpool all in red. They are defending the Anfield Road end away towards our left-hand side against West Ham in their cream shirts and their dark shorts, playing from right to left. Give you the two teams where Liverpool have made the one change. Gomez coming in for Jones from the side that got that late win against Nottingham Forest last weekend. So Alisson in goal, back four of Gomez, Van Dijk, Konate and Kerkez. Szoboszlai moves into midfield with Gravenberch and McAllister. A front three of Salah, Ekitike and Gakpo. But West Ham United, they're unchanged from the side that drew 0-0 against Bournemouth. Hermansen is in goal, back four of Wan-Bissaka, Mavropanos, Disasi and Malik Diouf. Magassa, Souček and Fernandes, Bowen, Castellanos and Somerville. And as the ball is at the feet of Alisson, all in green away towards our left, it's a good afternoon to Stephen Warnock.
Yeah, it's a really interesting game this for Liverpool. Form's been indifferent. Last week against Nottingham Forest they were completely outplayed. They managed to get a result, but this will be a different sort of proposition for them. They have to come out, they have to take the game to West Ham, and that might just suit this West Ham team, who've looked a little bit more compact, a little bit more organised in recent weeks.
Yes, and very much a threat on the counter-attack, which was the tactic employed by Nuno Espirito Santo when he was in charge last season of a Nottingham Forest side that won by a goal to nil, as the ball is cleared away by Bowen on the edge of his own penalty area in the shadows of the Kop, as Liverpool are playing from left to right. Ekitike lays the ball off towards Kerkez, passes the ball quickly and back into midfield for McAllister. Look for the run of Ekitike, and that was cut out by Wan-Bissaka. But Liverpool, with those red shirts swarming to win it back, and now it's passed out towards Salah. Salah dinks the ball in, Szoboszlai makes the run, couldn't control it, through towards Hermansen in goal.
Yeah, the recovery there from Liverpool once they lost the ball. They suffocated West Ham, won it back very quickly. There's an opportunity to actually get the ball out to Salah earlier, and Diouf had just crept up the pitch thinking that they were going to retain the ball. They didn't see it, they got away with it, West Ham. That was a lovely run from Szoboszlai in behind. Pass was just a little bit off from Mohamed Salah.
Falkirk are leading Kilmarnock by a goal to nil in the Scottish Premiership. Here is Van Dijk. There is a crispness about the way that Liverpool have started passing in these opening 2.5 minutes.
I thought you were going to say about the weather. I was going to say it's quite nice, sunny.
It is. It's lovely to see the clear blue sky. We can see plenty of it here from our lofty position as Konate comes forward with the ball out towards Salah. 9 games in the Premier League without a goal. It's his longest drought in the Premier League, as here is Gravenberch to Gomez. Gomez sends a cross in the corresponding fixture. Actually, Liverpool won at the London Stadium 2-0 at the end of November, but if you recall, that was when Liverpool had conceded 10 goals in their previous 3 games, and Gomez that afternoon made his first Premier League start of the season, and that, I think, was an opportunity where Liverpool were able to almost press the reset button, wasn't it?
Yeah, and it brings a balance to this team. That's what they need. They've struggled over recent weeks to fill that gap at right back. They've tried Endo, they've tried Curtis Jones, they've tried Szoboszlai. You need a player who is comfortable in that position, and Joe Gomez has showed his versatility, that he can be very comfortable at left back, centre back or right back.
Well, after 3 successive substitute appearances, the England international is back in the starting 11. Van Dijk runs forward, left side of the centre circle, passes the ball out wide to Kerkez in front of the Sir Kenny Dalglish stand. Looks for the 1-2 and gets it back from Ekitike. His cross, though, is blocked by Wan-Bissaka, and it'll go behind for a corner in front of the Kop for Liverpool, 0-0.
Yeah, good from Kerkez. He's growing in confidence in that Liverpool shirt. He had a bit of a shaky start to his career, and many were wondering whether he was the player that he'd seen in a Bournemouth shirt. Well, now he's showing that. Good play down that left-hand side. Little give and go with Ekitike, well blocked by Wan-Bissaka.
Position, of course, that Stephen Warnock knows well during his time at the club. You've got to deal with that weight of expectation when you're playing in the famous all red for Liverpool. 0-0. We're in the 5th minute. Corner kick, far side the left. It's an in-swinger, taken by Szoboszlai, headed out by Malik Diouf in a crowded 6-yard area. Headed back by Gravenberch. Souček, though, uses his aerial presence to head it away. Gravenberch plays it back in. Ekitike with a shot and gets it away, and Liverpool score. Inside 5 minutes, it is Hugo Ekitike that fires Liverpool in front, 1-0.
Well, how many times have they relied on this guy? He's just been quite simply brilliant in a Liverpool shirt. Since he joined, all the talk was about Alexander Isak joining the club. He's quietened all that, and he's made it all about him. Liverpool have started this game well. They've started extremely well. As the corner comes in, they keep it alive, and Gravenberch just finds him out on the left-hand side. He takes one touch from about 10 yards out and then rifles it with his right foot into the bottom left-hand corner. Takes a little bit of a deflection off Mavropanos. He won't care. Liverpool 1-0 ahead.
He took it so early, didn't he?
He did, and that's the idea behind it, to make sure that the keeper can't set his feet. Hermansen, he got nowhere near it because he's got no idea where Ekitike wants to go. The deflection doesn't help him, but it's like you say, Deno, the touch, the finish, so quick and instinctive.
Well, Falkirk have got a second goal at home to Kilmarnock, and there's been a goal at Portman Road in the Championship. Emily Herbert.
Ipswich 1, Swansea 0. Anis Mehmeti with an early goal for the home side. Fell to him after a rebound on the edge of the penalty area and rifled it into the top corner. Ipswich 1, Swansea 0.
And for West Ham United now, that is no clean sheet in any of their last 20 league encounters against Liverpool since January 2016 at Upton Park. And it also means that our good friend Rob Green, only 3 clean sheets in the last 26 league visits. Rob Green, Jääskeläinen and Darren Randolph, a select group of West Ham goalkeepers who've come away with a clean sheet.
Is that our football expert or refereeing expert,
Well,
Rob Green?
You can't talk about it.
No.
We welcome listeners to the BBC World Service, wherever you are in the world. It's a pleasure to have your company. Here we are at Anfield, where Liverpool are already leading West Ham United by a 0-0 as Konate tidies up and back towards Alisson. Port Vale 0, Luton Town 1. Mansfield are leading Wimbledon by a 0-0. Mansfield without a win in 7 in League One. And Rotherham United are leading Plymouth Argyle by a 0-0. That is also in League One. Luton Town, incidentally, without a win in 8 away games, but they are leading at Vale Park. So 1-0 here to Liverpool. We've got commentary at St James's Park, which is live on Sports Extra, but here is Lee Blakeman with an update for us.
Newcastle 0, Everton 0. Scrappy start. Both teams losing the ball a lot in the midfield. Gordon playing down the centre with Joelinton one side and Elanga the other. Voltemade in behind, yet to really get a touch so far. Newcastle 0, Everton 0.
That second goal for Falkirk, incidentally, was disallowed, so they only lead Kilmarnock by a 0-0. Still 1-0 to Liverpool here. Hermansen just tosses the ball out there to Mavropanos and quickly gets the ball across to Wan-Bissaka on that far side. Now Souček able to run forward as he collects it over the halfway line. In the sunshine finds Bowen. But in comparison to Liverpool's passing, it's a little laboured by West Ham, but they do win a throw. We'll nip to turf more. Masfarouki.
No here. Burnley up for this though. Zian Fleming pinching the ball very early on, shooting wide though, well wide at the right post. But Brentford with a dangerous corner opportunity here. We've played 8 minutes. It's Burnley 0, Brentford 0.
Burnley starting well. They're actually 8 points behind Nottingham Forest, so they're 8 from safety. West Ham United had that opportunity to go above Forest ahead of their game tomorrow, where they travel to Brighton and Hove Albion, but their plans have already gone awry. And have you seen anything since they fell behind to suggest anything of a response, Stephen?
No, not at the moment, but it's just the way the game's panned out so far. It's been a little bit scrappy since that goal went in, but we just know that West Ham will try and sit deep. And it was interesting, I was watching it as the play was building up for Liverpool, and Jared Bowen found himself in a right-back position, almost as a back 5. So I think that tells you the way West Ham are going to be setting up today.
Well, he's forward at the moment in the sunshine on the far side, and he gets the ball short from a throw from Wan-Bissaka. He's level with the area, but there are 3 red shirts around the West Ham player there, and then Kerkez losing his footing, unable to keep the ball in play. That was under pressure from Castellanos, and it means that all of a sudden West Ham, who've offered little in the opening 10 minutes in open play, let's see what they can deliver from a set piece. As Bowen places the ball down in the quadrant, and Liverpool have got everybody back. We'll be going to Turf Moor in a moment, but this corner is imminent for a West Ham United side that trails by a goal to nil. And it is Bowen to take it, and he curls this one in, and it looked like it was a free header in that crowded area. It goes out for a goal kick, so come in Masfarouki.
We said that they had opportunities from corners, and Brentford have made one count. Mikel Damsgaard heading in. The corner came in from the right-hand side. Burnley 0, Brentford 1.
So Brentford are 1-0 up. Liverpool are leading by a goal to nil. Newcastle United, Everton is 0-0. We've got commentary from Ellen Road at 5:30 after Sports Report. Paul Robinson joining John Murray for that 5:30 commentary. And remember earlier, Bournemouth 1, Sunderland 1 is how it finished on the south coast. But for West Ham United with Disasi, infield now to Fernandes, his forward ball, Bowen lays it off, Souček just tries to leave it for Fernandes to take over, succeeds, he's got Somerville to his left, here is now Somerville, left side of the penalty area, enters the box, plays the ball in, and cleared away by Kerkez, who was covering the left back in a central area, back towards Somerville, blocked by Gomez. Better from West Ham, they win a corner.
Yeah, it really is better, and it was brilliant from Fernandes in that central midfield area. He was the one who started it, little give and go with Thomas Souček, and then he just found himself driving at the heart of defence. And one thing he wants to do is get Somerville in a 1v1 situation going into the penalty area. Joe Gomez had to back up, but good covering from Kerkez.
So it's going to be Somerville to take the corner kick in front of that strong travelling support in towards the near post. I think it was Ekitike who looked to head it away at the near post, comes back in, drops inside the 6-yard area, and unable to be kept down that effort, and it goes high into the Anfield Road end. A lot of their supporters are shielding the sun from their eyes, as it will be a goal kick to Liverpool at Dens Park in the Scottish Premiership. Dundee 0, Hibs 1. It remains Hearts 0, Aberdeen 0. The league leaders, who are unbeaten still at home, an opportunity to put more pressure on Rangers and Celtic ahead of the Old Firm tomorrow, and we will have commentary from Ibrox from midday. Talking of the leaders of the Championship are Coventry City, and after 3 straight wins, they're at home to Stoke City, and there has been a goal. Julia Bold.
Coventry 1, Stoke 0. Hadji right, it was a header, close range, flew into the back of the net. It'd been coming as well. Coventry 1, Stoke 0.
Earlier, Hull City climbed to third with a 1-0 win at Portsmouth. Leicester 0, Norwich 2. Derby County beat Blackburn by 3-1. Liverpool lead 1-0 here. We've been playing for now 12.5 minutes on 5 Live. We're live on the World Service as well, and also available through the BBC Sounds app. As Gakpo, 10 yards in from the left touchline, finds Gravenberg, instant layoff. Here is Ekitike, good footwork by Ekitike, rolls it out towards Salah, clips it in first time, curling, headed away by Wan-Bissaka. Gravenberg tried to get there, might have caught Fernandes, has fouled Fernandes, and the referee, who is Tim Robinson, has adjudged that was a foul and gives a free kick to the away team.
Yeah, it's quite surprising that he gave a foul for that. The referee, looked like Gravenberg just got to the ball quicker, went through the back of Fernandes, but that's how he feels, but he just went and won the ball. Fernandes almost leaned forward, invited that challenge, but then when you were cleaning everything up, then there was a replay of that West Ham corner. Mavropanos had an opportunity. I think he should score. He's 6 yards out, he turns, he's got the opportunity to shoot, blazes it over the bar, so it's a really big opportunity. And Mavropanos was the one who got the header in that goal earlier on from the previous corner. So a couple of set pieces where West Ham can take a little bit of encouragement to know that Liverpool are susceptible.
Have you had a chance to see that header again? Because I described it as a free header. It looked like he could have possibly done better.
No, I think there was a deflection on it. I think it should have been a corner. I think it was both Van Dijk and Szoboszlai who went and competed with him. I think it just nicked off the head of Van Dijk. So, yeah, I think he missed that one, the referee. What a ball that is.
Ball out towards Salah, and Salah's on the attack, brings it under control, enters the penalty area right-hand side, but then allows Disasi, and is able just to put it out and turn it behind for a corner kick. He looked very pleased with himself, did Disasi there, didn't he?
Where are you with this celebrating tackles and saves? And it's a little bit much. I mean, he should be doing that.
That's his job, by the way. If it's a worldie,
yeah,
a great save, I get it. But that's doing his job, making a tackle.
It's just a simple challenge. It's very bizarre at the moment.
Yeah, that should have been routine. I'm not necessarily thinking he should be celebrating routine challenges such as that. Corner kick to Liverpool, who lead by a goal to nil. Near side the right, Salah to take it, left-footed, crowded 6-yard area. Disasi doesn't celebrate that as he heads it away, but it goes towards Somerville. Somerville now comes forward, gets the return ball from Fernandes, rides the challenge of Szoboszlai, and he's running forward at pace. If he looks up, he's got Wan-Bissaka in loads of space to his right. Here is Wan-Bissaka, and rather than going for goal, he tried to play another short diagonal ball forward to Bowen, and it was cut out of play for a throw on the far side. There's been a goal at Oxford United. Angus Patterson.
Oxford 1, West Brom 0, and it's Stanley Mills heading in Jamie Donnelly's corner to boost Oxford's hope of survival. Oxford 1, West Brom 0.
In it comes for West Ham United, and I think Souček has just gone and caught. Is that McAllister who's down? Yes, I think it is. And so there's a stoppage in play. Queen's Park Rangers 0. Sheffield United 1. They lost 5-0 at Southampton on Tuesday, and they're already behind. And Donald Love has been sent off for Accrington Stanley, who are away at the league leaders Bromley. So Bromley 0, Accrington Stanley 0, but Donald Love sent off for violent conduct. And Wimbledon have equalised at Mansfield in League One. So at Field Mill, Mansfield 1, Wimbledon 1. Dundee have got an equaliser at home to Hibs as well. 1-1 now in the Scottish Premiership, and you're up to date with the goals as they go in. Fernandes is forward for West Ham. Little layoff towards Bowen, cleared away by Kirkes. You're right, Stephen. They're showing signs here, West Ham, aren't they?
Yeah, they are, and it's coming mostly from Fernandes and from Somerville. Those two players hugely influential, trying to get it on the ball, trying to attack this Liverpool backline and breaking the lines. It's been very impressive comeback from West Ham, a response, should we say.
They are still trailing by a goal to nil. Burnley losing at home to Brentford. What's the latest at St James's Park? Lee Blakeman.
Newcastle 0, Everton 0. Chances at both ends there when Jai skied one from 25 yards for Everton, and Joel Linton's just done the same thing for Newcastle down the other end. They're getting in good positions, but neither goalkeeper tested so far. Newcastle 0, Everton 0.
Commentary live on Sports Extra. Wycombe Wanderers 1, Burton Albion 0 is a latest score in League One. 17 minutes played here at Anfield. Somerville hooks it. Fernandes did well.
That was
high off the chest. The referee, I thought, was impeding him at one point as well. Wan-Bissaka cross takes a deflection, falls towards Somerville, bobbling around inside the penalty area. Bowen dives into the challenge to keep it alive for West Ham, comes back at Bowen quite quickly from Wan-Bissaka, and Liverpool are able to intercept. Ekitike held up by Mavropanos, and West Ham quickly win the ball back. Out it goes towards that right. Here now is Wan-Bissaka. And now Magassa gets a little touch for Souček.
There's a belief in them, isn't there, West Ham? There's a belief that they can hurt Liverpool and an organisation. I know they've had the sucker punch of a goal, but they feel that they get the ball into wide areas to Bowen and Somerville, they can actually create, and certainly we'll be giving the ball to Somerville as much as possible.
Well, before that goalless draw against Bournemouth last weekend, West Ham had actually scored first in each of their 8 previous games, which illustrates the belief that, you know, Stephen's talking about. They'd won 5, they'd drawn 1, they'd lost 2. And this is a West Ham United side that when they lost to Forest, which was match week 21, they were 7 points adrift of Forest. Many people had written them off.
I thought they were dead and buried. I thought they were no chance of survival. Didn't think they had the team spirit. I thought they'd lost the dressing room, the manager, but fair play to them. They've rallied round. They've come back. They made a couple of signings in the January transfer window, which I think have helped them. But there looks like there's a spirit within this team.
Well, they've got Fulham away on Wednesday, and it's the FA Cup at home to Brentford before they then entertain Manchester City. Wonder what they can gain from this losing position here and recover anything as they trail by a goal to nil. Liverpool are attacking the Kop end. We're in the 19th minute here on 5 Live in the World Service. Southampton are leading at Sheffield Wednesday by a goal to nil. Sheffield Wednesday, of course, already relegated. Southampton pushing for the playoffs, and they're 1-0 up in South Yorkshire as Van Dijk along the ground finds Konate just outside the centre circle of his own half and runs forward on this lush green surface. To Gomez, the right back, who's forward, held up by Somerville, out towards Salah. Back then to Szoboszlai, able to put his right foot on the ball, then right-footed, passes it towards Van Dijk, along the ground now towards Gravenberch, and he's less than 30 yards out from goal. Out to Gakpo, coming in off that left touchline, enters the penalty area, back to Gravenberch, edge of the area, shoots, one-handed save. Hermansen did well, kept in play by Malik Diouf and swept to safety. As we go to Newcastle, where there's been a goal, Lee Blakeman.
Everton have got it, Newcastle 0, Everton 1. Corner from the left, swung in, Branthwaite met it, near post, glancing header, in off the far post, really well taken. Newcastle 0, Everton 1.
After back-to-back defeats, Everton then are ahead. Commentary of that is on Sports Extra, as we hear about that Southampton goal from Adam Cottier.
Scored by James Bree, the second phase of a corner, ball in from the left-hand side. The goalkeeper couldn't catch it, and it dropped for Bree, who poked it over the line. Sheffield Wednesday 0, Southampton 1.
What about the Hermansen save, Stephen?
Oh, superb save, because when Gravenberch cuts in, you can see he's trying to bend it round the defender. It's almost like he's unsighted. Makes a smart save down to his left-hand side. We're just getting a replay of it now, and we're seeing it from a better angle. He's actually bent it round two players, but he's got a great position. He's probably 2 or 3 yards off his line, making the goal a little bit smaller for himself, making that save a little bit easier, but had to be made.
Anfield rises to its feet in unison in memory of Diogo Jota. In the 20th minute in every game, his name is sung with fondness and with passion. As Liverpool, leading by a goal to 0, come forward with Van Dijk. Now towards Konate. Even some of the West Ham United supporters, in a touching manner, are joining in with a clapping in memory of the Portuguese international. As here is Bowen, looking for that switch of play, diagonal ball, taken on the chest by Somerville, comes to a standstill, gains his balance out towards Malik Diouf. Bowen then had made the run in towards the penalty area, but Liverpool are able to deal with it. And now coming forward is Gravenberch to Salah, who makes that run into a central area, lays it off towards the goal scorer Ekitike. Gakpo holds his run, Ekitike runs forward. Gakpo still was waiting, Ekitike came infield and then was dispossessed by Fernandes. Now Gakpo does get it to feet over on that far side, the left, and Wan-Bissaka backpedals. He enters the penalty area. Gakpo wide, wins a corner off the shins of Aaron Wan-Bissaka.
And that's not bad from Gakpo, because so often we see him cut inside on that right foot. Becomes quite predictable. And one thing that you have to do against Wan-Bissaka is mix your game up, make things difficult for him, because he's an extremely good defender in 1v1 situations, and when you do go to the line, inevitably the least you're going to win is a corner.
Bolton Wanderers, third in League One, are leading at Exeter City by a goal to 0. Exeter 0, Bolton Wanderers 1. Corner kick for Liverpool, who are 1-0 up themselves here at Anfield. Szoboszlai is going to take it, curls it in from that far side, and Van Dijk, appealing for a corner, gets it. Must have been challenged by Souček, the Liverpool captain, in that crowded 6-yard box.
And they're just trying to fling the ball under the crossbar, aren't they, Liverpool? You see Van Dijk, Konate, Szoboszlai under that. It's not Szoboszlai, sorry, Gakpo under that crossbar.
And it comes now. That was an in-swinger. I think he was going for goal there.
I think he is as well. That's Szoboszlai taking it, and he's trying to whip it into that near post area. It's Jared Bowen. If he doesn't touch it, it's going in. So it's a really important position from Jared Bowen.
Goes back out for another corner kick, again on that left-hand side. There's a lot of jostling taking place inside that 6-yard area. And in fact, one of the West Ham players, it was Castellanos, was bundled into the back of the net at the Kop end there. Managed to free himself out of the net, but once again a lot of butching and shoving taking place, as in it comes, a little bit extra flight and headed in, and there is Virgil van Dijk, and Liverpool have got the second goal, and West Ham United now have problems here at Anfield. Liverpool 2, West Ham United 0.
That's 3 wicked balls from corners that Dominic Szoboszlai has put into that penalty area. And it's classic play from Virgil van Dijk, because he knows he's the bigger man. So all he has to do is get an arm on the chest of Mavropanos, push him away from him, create half a yard, It's actually not Mavropanos. It's Magassa who he pushes away from him, creates half a yard. That gives him the opportunity just to glance the easiest of headers, but it's only easy because of the quality of the cross that comes in. Brilliant from Virgil van Dijk.
Well, he's equalled his tally of last season now with his 5th goal of the season. And West Ham United now trailing by 2-0 as we'll get an update in the T20 World Cup. Pakistan, Sri Lanka, Dan Norcross.
Pakistan, 212 for 8 they've made, but they've got to restrict Sri Lanka to 147 or lower in order to qualify for the semi-finals. 100 for Saib Zarafan, his 2nd of the tournament, leading run scorer. No one scored more than him in a T20 World Cup. Fakhar Zaman, 84. They put on 176, the highest ever partnership in a T20 World Cup, but then fell away, losing 8 wickets for 36. 212 for 8. They need to keep Sri Lanka to 147 or below.
Commentary continues on Sports Extra 2. We just had a minor delay, and I think your facial expression was the same as mine, because on the monitor it said VAR checking possible offside.
Yeah,
how?
I've got no idea whatsoever, because when Van Dijk heads it, he's in the middle of a group of players. There's no one on the line. I didn't have a clue what he was looking at there, or what they were looking at in the VAR booth.
No. Anyway, now it's my turn to be confused again, because I've just had instruction. Oh, it's a goal at Burnley, Maz Faruqi.
Yeah, big problems for West Ham with you, Ian. Big problems for Burnley here at Turf Moor. 2-0 now they trail. Igor Thiago with the 2nd for Brentford as they try to push for the equaliser, leaving themselves exposed at the back, and it's now Burnley 0, Brentford 2.
And a goal now at Oxford United in the Championship, Angus Patterson.
Where the hosts have a cushion, Oxford 2, West Brom 0. Will Lancashire, it's another set piece, another headed goal. So the hosts now have a cushion in their quest for survival. Oxford 2, West Brom 0.
That would be a first win in 7, but for West Brom, James Morrison is their interim manager. They've gone 10 games before today in the Championship without a win, and they're now 2-0 down. Leicester City earlier, another team in desperate trouble, were beaten at home by Norwich City by 2-0. West Ham United, 2011-2012 was the last time that they were in the Championship, so this is their 14th consecutive season in the top flight. It's their longest since a spell between 1958 and 1978, but it's under real threat. And for Nottingham Forest supporters who might be heading to the south coast to make a weekend of it ahead of that game against Brighton and Hove Albion tomorrow, which is on Sports Extra 2, just takes a little bit of the pressure off knowing that your relegation rivals are 2-0 down. There's been a goal in League One. Doncaster Rovers against Cardiff City, the leaders, Rob Law.
And it's just the goal that Cardiff City have been waiting for. Doncaster 0, Cardiff 1. Alex Robertson latching on to a lifted ball into the penalty area, controlled it well, finished calmly. Big goal for the league leaders. Doncaster 0, Cardiff 1.
Just one defeat in 13 before today for Cardiff. Liverpool lead 2-0. McAllister makes the run in towards the penalty area, tried to get the cutback first time, stopped by Mavropanos, who races after that loose ball, strikes the back of the legs of McAllister. The overhead kick by Wan-Bissaka didn't quite come off, and West Ham United have only got as far as midway through their own half before Fernandes fouls Szoboszlai and Liverpool get a free kick. And it feels very, very comfortable now for Liverpool.
Yeah, it does. It's gone from feeling a little bit edgy, where West Ham were coming back into the game and starting to cause a few problems, and now suddenly it feels like a training ground exercise where Liverpool are just knocking the ball around very comfortably, and West Ham have lost a little bit of intensity.
Falkirk 2, Kilmarnock 0. They did have a second goal earlier ruled out after VAR, but they have now got a second goal before the half-hour mark as Konate to Alisson, all in green, quickly helps it on its way towards Van Dijk, who just almost resorts to a walking pace before he strokes it in a very nonchalant fashion towards Konate, and now Gravenberch able to take over, and here is Kerkez, who leaves it back towards Virgil van Dijk. Virgil van Dijk, who has suffered just 6 home Premier League defeats in 132 games here at Anfield, as Gakpo shoots low, blocked by Mavropanos. orders his West Ham United defence to push on out, but they're not allowed to get too far out as Kerkez delivers a beauty of a cross from the left-hand side. But in fact, there was a handball in there, and referee Tim Robinson has given a free kick. There was plenty of fizz on that.
Oh, what a ball it was, because he just knows one thing, Kerkez, is that he's been given an opportunity to feed the ball into the 6-yard box because of the way that the West Ham players had dropped off him. He fizzed it in, and it's an unbelievable ball. Ekatike, I don't think it's actually a handball. I give you the signal that it was handball. I think it's for a push on to Sassi. So he just lost the flight of the ball there, Ekatike, but brilliant from Kerkez.
Hearts are leading Aberdeen by 1-0. Claudio Braga has got the goal, and Somerville comes forward for West Ham, runs at the heart of the Liverpool defence. Castellanos and Somerville both run into each other and allows Van Dijk to tidy it up. Back towards Alisson, and then Alisson with the clearance. Bowen just dangled his right leg, and it almost crept past the Brazilian.
Oh, so complacent, wasn't he, Alisson? He just thought it was a simple pass out to the left-hand side. Far too lazy, relaxed, if whatever you want to call it, but I think Bowen read the situation so well. He just can't stun the ball. It just ricochets back into the path of Alisson.
Mansfield are back in front against Wimbledon. They lead by 2-1. Here is McAllister, edge of the penalty area. Thought he was going to shoot, but the opportunity went missing. Stevenage 0, Stockport County 1. Preston 0, Millwall 1. Port Vale have equalised at home to Luton 1-1. But let's hear about that goal at the top of the Scottish table, the Scottish Premiership, from Conor McLaughlin at Tynecastle.
Yeah, Hearts are off and running. It was made by Landry Cabori, some great work from him, but it was finished by Claudio Braga for his 12th goal of the Scottish Premiership season. As it stands, they're 7 points clear of second place Rangers, with plenty of football to be played. Hearts 1, Aberdeen 0.
So Rangers and Celtic, remember, they meet at Ibrox tomorrow. We will have commentary from on the Old Firm from midday. Then Manchester United, Crystal Palace at 2. Arsenal, Chelsea to follow that at 4:30. Charlton 0, Wrexham 1 is a latest score. And in fact, we can hear about the Wrexham goal from Jonathan Ledgard.
Ollie Rathbone from the edge of the area. Charlton cannot believe it. They had 3 absolutely simple chances. They fluffed them all. Wrexham at sea at the back, but not in front of the Charlton goal. They lead 1-0 after half an hour.
And news of that goal for Millwall at Deepdale from Sane Radravajala.
Yeah, Preston 0, Millwall 1. It's right back Ryan Leonard, ball breaking to him, side foot finish. Great first goal of the season for him. It's Preston 0, Millwall 1.
Malik Diouf just twists and then chests the ball back towards Hermansen. It's certainly hotting up regarding the playoffs. Remember, Southampton are leading, Millwall are leading. We've just heard about Wrexham as well, and earlier Hull City beat Portsmouth by 1-0, and Derby County beat Blackburn 3-1. Wan-Bissaka, far side the right, sends over the cross into the penalty area. They're appealing for a penalty there for a push on Castellanos.
Yeah, they're saying Konate's clipped him. It'll get looked at. There will be a check. It's just whether he's bought it, and if he has, and it's simulation, then he should be booked. We're just getting a replay of it now, Deno. So as he enters the box, Konate, there's nothing in that whatsoever. I mean, that is embarrassing. That is a complete dive. That is shocking from Castellanos.
The only way to stamp it out is if Castellanos now is shown a yellow card.
Absolutely.
Because that's cheating.
Yeah, it is cheating, absolutely. And the thing is, if you know that VAR are there, and do you think that is honestly going to be given as a penalty? Absolutely beyond me, that.
Another goal at Newcastle, Lee Blakeman.
Newcastle are level, Newcastle 1, Everton 1. Ramsey inside the D, put in a shot, big deflection, past Pickford, 32 played. Newcastle 1, Everton 1.
Sheffield United have got a second goal at Queen's Park Rangers. QPR 0, Sheffield United 2. And another goal at Oxford United in the Championship, Angus Patterson.
Oxford 2, West Brom 1. The Baggies have one back, and it's Ollie Bostock, the young substitute, who replaced the injured Mikey Johnston, shutting it in from close range. Oxford 2, West Brom 1.
33 minutes played. Liverpool are leading West Ham United by 2-0. This is one of 8 commentaries this weekend across the 5 Live Sport network. We've got on Sports Extra at the moment. Newcastle 1, Everton 1. Leeds Manchester City to come at 5:30. That's after Sports Report with Mark Chapman, where we will squeeze in as much results and reaction as we can. And next week there is a round of Premier League games, and we've got commentaries Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday, and every game we will have live for you throughout next week. Back to St James's, there's been another goal, Lee.
Newcastle are behind already. Newcastle 1, Everton 2, just after Newcastle had equalised. Shot from McNeil, Pope made a hash of the save, parried it straight to Beto, who scored on the follow-up. Newcastle 1, Everton 2, what a game.
And another goal at Burnley, Maz Faruqi.
This could get ugly now for Burnley. 3-0 now they trail. Kevin Sharder with the third goal for Brentford. Again, Burnley just not able to clear their area from a Brentford set piece. Burnley 0, Brentford 3. We've played 35 minutes.
West Ham United also in the relegation zone, 2-0 down. Malik Diouf though sent over a cross. That was blocked by Gomez. And it will rebound out of play for a West Ham throw, level with the penalty area in front of the main stand on this near side. Here is Fernandes, now towards Disasi, on loan from Chelsea, passes the ball to Mavropanos. Mavropanos comes forward, he's almost midway through the Liverpool half. Wan-Bissaka looking for the run of Souček. He did put out an outstretched right boot, but he couldn't gather it in, and it goes through to Alisson.
Yeah, I just think he was more wary of where Virgil van Dijk was and worried about that contact that was going to be made on him, but it was a really good ball from Wan-Bissaka. Got it into Souček. Trouble.
Here is Bowen. Bowen in the penalty area. Bowen curls over the cross. This is Somerville off the chest. Creates the opening for himself. Somerville. Block comes in. Takes a lot of the pace off the ball, and Gomez is able to get the ball away. Liverpool are almost architects of their own downfall.
Yeah, and that's been the story of Liverpool's season. The complacency that creeps in. It was a simple ball from Konate into midfield to Gravenberch. He plays the ball blindly to Virgil van Dijk, and Jarrod Bowen picks his pocket, and then Somerville gets the opportunity in the penalty area. But credit to Liverpool, they have 4 players closing him down. Not sure which player got the block in, but they did manage to get that block in, and Gravenberch then holding his hand up and admitting that he was the man who should be doing better.
Bowen attacking in towards Souček, good save by Alisson. Played it in low into the 6-yard area, that near post. Souček just tried to hit it first time. Alisson made the smothering save. Gakpo comes forward on that far side, the left. It breaks ahead of him. Ekitike will race after it to keep the ball in play. Now coming in off that left touchline. Liverpool lead 2-0. They're attacking the Kop. Ekitike sends over the cross and headed behind by Malik Diouf for a corner to Liverpool, as Falkirk have got a third goal at home to Kilmarnock, 3-0. Stevenage have equalised at home to Stockport. Stevenage 1, Stockport County 1, and Motherwell, who are going very well at the top of the Scottish Premiership. They now lead Dundee United by a 1-0 at Fir Park.
That opportunity down the other end of the pitch, Thomas Souček missed the ball. It was actually Konate who got a touch on it, and Alisson with a really good save, but the signs are still there that West Ham can cause Liverpool problems.
The lead is only by 2-0 as Salah clips over the corner. Hermansen comes over the back of one of his own players, which was Mavropanos. Somerville picks up the loose ball. It's penned in, though, deep inside his own half. Plays it down the line towards Magassa. Magassa plays it back now towards Malik Diouf, who looks up and searching. Will find Wan-Bissaka with a diagonal ball out to the far side, the right. And Wan-Bissaka comes into space over the halfway line. Bowen is the reverse option, out back towards the right. Here is Bowen with a cross towards Wan-Bissaka. That would have been an excellent move from West Ham, but Wan-Bissaka was unable to finish it off, and it's gathered in by Alisson.
I tell you what a move that was. Brilliant from Somerville in this bottom corner. Never panicked down in the left-hand corner. He waited patiently to find a pass, and then they spread the ball out to that right-hand side, switched the play. Jarrod Bowen with a good opportunity. It was really good from West Ham.
Here is Kirkes. Gakpo's ahead of him, now takes over, left corner of the penalty area. Kirkes on the overlap, down towards the byline, drills it in low, comes towards McAllister, tries to place it, blocked by Disasi, then the volley by McAllister, blocked again, and Castellanos clears the ball away.
Why has he not hit it first time, McAllister? He's waited, stood still, allowed Disasi to get closer to him. That was a brilliant little bit of play by Kirkes, and Gakpo down that left-hand side, waited patiently for the overlap. Great pick out from Kirkes, but a player of McAllister's quality, you just expect better.
I think there'll be elements of frustration from Arne Slot with the opportunities that they've gifted West Ham. And I'm recalling the game at Ellen Road when Leeds United played Liverpool. Liverpool are in control of the game. Konate concedes a penalty with a needless challenge that he doesn't have to make, allows Leeds back into the game and end up drawing it.
This isn't the same team that Liverpool were last season, where if they went ahead, effectively the game was put to bed. They could hold on to a lead. Well, they're different this season, so West Ham will know that. They'll know that they're capable of getting back into this game. And Liverpool have been very, very sloppy.
Oldham Athletic are leading Crawley Town by 1-0 in League Two. We know that the League One leaders, Cardiff City, are 1-0 up at Doncaster, just a point behind them, a second-place Lincoln. They're going very well at the moment. There's been a goal at Sincil Bank. Mark Webber.
They've responded. Lincoln 1, Blackpool 0. 38 minutes in. Conor McGrandles off the back of a corner. Bit of a ping-pong. Got his head to it for the final ball. Lincoln 1, Blackpool 0.
Looking to go 17 games unbeaten in League One. Earlier, Bournemouth 1, Sunderland 1. These are the latest scores in the top flight. Burnley 0, Brentford 3, and Everton are leading at Newcastle United by 2-1. Manchester City, who start the day 5 points behind Arsenal there at Leeds, will have commentary at Ellen Road after Sports Report. And tomorrow, Arsenal-Chelsea live 4:30 here on BBC Radio 5 Live. To the Championship leaders next. Coventry, Julia Bolt.
It's still Coventry 1, Stoke City 0. How though? Goodness knows, it has been all Coventry. Hadji Wright, Mason Clark, Onyenka, all had attempts. Tommy Simpkins got his work cut out in goal. It is still Coventry 1, Stoke 0.
We'll be going racing to Newbury in the next few minutes. Cheltenham Festival starts a week on Tuesday. You'll hear the best possible coverage through John Hunt and the team on BBC Radio 5 Live for all 4 days, as Fernandes out towards Wan-Bissaka, sends over the cross. Konate climbs high in his own penalty area, pops off the head of Fernandes. Ekitike, who gave Liverpool the lead, can't get the touch. Wan-Bissaka towards Bowen, unable to roll away from Van Dijk, and then the ball goes out towards that far side, and it will be a Liverpool throw as Kilmarnock have got a goal back, and it's Falkirk 3, Kilmarnock 1, and we've got 4 minutes to go to the break.
Yeah, I think Nuno Espirito Santo will be thinking now, what does he do? How does he change? Does he stick and think that they have created enough opportunities in this game to perhaps find a way back in? The pressure that they've put Liverpool under has caused Liverpool to make mistakes. Or does he think, I need to do something more drastic at half-time? I think from Arne Slot's point of view, you mentioned it before, Deno, is just making sure that that complacency doesn't continue to creep into the game.
Well, Arne Slot is nearing seeing his side score 200 goals since he took charge. They now have moved on to 198 during the Dutchman, who won the title last year, and certainly when they've scored first in the Premier League this season. In fact, not just in the Premier League, in all competitions, when they've scored first in the 24 games, they've won 20, they've drawn 3, they've only suffered the 1 defeat. That was against Manchester City here last time out in the Premier League. As Salah runs forward, tees up Szoboszlai, returns the ball, Ekitike takes over, Ekitike tries to place it, it's diverted behind by Mavropanos for a corner kick. And Salah, I think, was thinking, this one's mine, but Ekitike said, no, it's not.
Yeah, he's got every right there, Ekitike, to take it off the feet of Mohamed Salah. He rolls it off the bottom of his studs, his right stud, and then he looks like he's just going to open it up onto his left, bend it into the far corner. Credit to Mavropanos, he didn't give it up. He got the challenge in, so important.
Liverpool could have been out of sight. As it is, they lead by 2-0. 2.5 minutes to go to half-time. Salah with a corner near side the right. It's an in-swinger towards the far post. McAllister on the volley, lashed in. Ekitike with the assist. McAllister hit that first time, and he hit it oh so sweetly. And Liverpool, before the break, lead West Ham United by 3-0.
You have to say West Ham have been vulnerable from set pieces. They've looked so uncomfortable every time the ball's come into the area, whether it was from the left-hand side of Szoboszlai. This time it's the right-hand side, the in-swinging ball from Mohamed Salah. They don't win the first contact, West Ham, and as it goes to the back post, it's lovely cushion from Ekitike into the path of McAllister. He hits it first time on the full, into the top corner, the roof of the net. It's a brilliant finish from McAllister, it really is. And that is game over at half-time.
He scored his first Premier League goal of the season last weekend against Nottingham Forest. He's taken his tally to the campaign to 5, and Liverpool with 3 goals, you would think, maybe have the 3 points even before half-time is out. Elsewhere, there's been a goal at Portman Road. Ipswich Town Swansea, Emily Herbert.
The home side have a cushion. Ipswich 2, Swansea 0. Ivan Azon, his 4th of the season, fell to him on the left-hand side, inside the box, had acres of space and time, came out of nowhere and slotted it into the far side netting. It was coming. 3 to the break, Ipswich 2, Swansea 0.
Bearing in mind that we're only 60 seconds to go to the break, it's not going to give us a true picture, but there are a lot of West Ham United supporters who are heading towards the I would say the concourse at this stage rather than the exit, because there might be a deal on for pies. Who's to say?
You'd know.
But whether those supporters return, we will gauge at the start of the second half, as there will be 4 minutes of added time here at Anfield. And here is Gravenberch. Gravenberch was being pulled back by Magassa. Tranmere Rovers are leading at Crewe by 1-0, and Livingston 0, St Mirren 1 is the latest score in the Scottish Premiership. And is that a yellow card shown to Szoboszlai?
No, Magassa for the shirt pull on Gravenberch.
All right. I wondered the way that it was almost Szoboszlai was just running back, yeah, but Magassa, I didn't know whether Szoboszlai had done the imaginary waving of the card towards the referee, Tim Robinson. But, yeah, Magassa booked for that cynical pullback. So here is Szoboszlai to take the free kick. Are they able to get a 4th goal before half-time? West Ham have a line of players on the edge of their own penalty area. Szoboszlai goes deep, Hermansen punches it out, comes towards Gravenberch. Here is Gomez! Now that would have been a collector's item for Joe Gomez. As he swiveled and hit it right-footed, it was off target. He's gone 300 appearances for club and country without a goal in his senior career.
Incredible. I think it takes a deflection, Deno. They've got a corner, Liverpool, so it's a really good opportunity for him. I think it comes off Diouf and goes out for a corner, but his eyes lit up as he turned and had an opportunity, because the goalkeeper Hermansen was down. He'd come out, tried to clatter through players, ended up on the floor, hurt himself. Big opportunity, wasn't it?
One day, Joe, one day. Corner kick for Liverpool, leading 3-0. 5 Live, the World Service and the BBC Sounds app. Salah with the in-swinger, headed out by Mavropanos at the near post. Comes back out towards Salah, curls it in again. Mavropanos is there once more to head that further clear. As now this is Szoboszlai out towards Salah. Salah must be thinking, how can I end my goal drought here in the Premier League?
Well, what would you do if Liverpool got a penalty and they were 4-0 up, say, and you want Gomez to get his first goal, but Salah hasn't scored?
There's only one winner. Somerville under pressure, being hounded by Liverpool. They're leading 3-0, but they're still working extremely hard off the ball, as West Ham United now try to break with Bowen. Bowen in the centre circle, but Liverpool...
How's he get that?
That's a soft free kick. Bowen has gone to ground. West Ham get a free kick. There's been a goal at Bromley in League Two. Sammy Sk.
Whereas Bromley 1, Accrington 0. League leaders a man up, and now a goal up thanks to a penalty from Michael Cheek, his 15th of the season after Devon Matthews handled in the box. Bromley on course to extend the gap at the top of League 2. Bromley 1, Accrington 0.
Hearts, of course, are still unbeaten at home. They lead Aberdeen by 1-0, but Bromley are the only unbeaten side at home in the top 5 divisions in England, and they're looking to go 16 games unbeaten, as Southampton have got a second goal at Sheffield Wednesday. Sheffield Wednesday 0, Southampton 2 is the latest score in the Championship. We're in stoppage time here at Anfield, and Liverpool are leading 3-0. And Fernandes is being told to retreat a little further as he waits to take a free kick. And he's in the centre circle, almost on the halfway line. So it's quite a deep line from Liverpool on the edge of their area, but as it comes back and they retreat and drops back, there was a foul, and it will be a free kick to Liverpool, and nothing really of anything significant happens during that passage of play as we get news of that second goal for Saints. Adam Cottier.
It was a free kick from Ryan Manning, a yard outside the box to the right apex of it, and he found the near post bottom corner. Brilliant left-footed free kick. Sheffield Wednesday 0, Southampton 2.
Another goal at Turf Moor, Masfarouki.
This gives the home fans something to cheer about. They have a goal back. It's an own goal through Kyoto. He somehow just put it straight into his own neck after the ball from the right from Burnley. So it's Burnley 1, Brentford 3. We're into the final minute of first half stoppage time.
Just looking at it, actually, this 3-0 scoreline is the joint heaviest loss for Nuno Espirito Santo at the moment, because they were beaten 3-0 against Manchester City and Wolves away, as we will go to commentary and a goal. Julia Bolt.
It's Coventry 1, Stoke 1, completely against the run of play. And just before half-time, Ben Gibson got on the end of their first corner of the game and has put it in the back of the net. Coventry 1, Stoke 1.
Thank you, Julia. Half-time then here at Anfield, where Liverpool lead West Ham by 3-0. Ekitike with the first goal after 5 minutes. A glancing header from Van Dijk with a second, and then Ekitike set up McAllister with a volley just before half-time. Here at Anfield, Liverpool 3, West Ham United 0.
And we will let you head to the concourse where the West Ham fans are. Ian, Accrington Stanley have equalised at Bromley. Bromley 1, Accrington Stanley 1. We will go there shortly. After we go racing, feature race of the day at Newbury, the Greatwood Gold Cup, John Hunt.
And top weight Twin Jets has just been pulled up. They've got 4 left to jump here, Mark, and Teddy Blue has just taken over with the lead ahead of Vincenzo, last year's runner-up in second position. Heltenium for Dan Skelton is coming into the act very strongly indeed. He is next, followed by Triple Trade as they soar over the next fence, and now they head on towards the second last. Glengooley is well beaten off. He's got no chance now either. Joss the Boss has been pulled up as well. They're already over the second last. Teddy Blue from Heltenium and Vincenzo, and Heltenium now comes through to lead the field. Heltenium, Vincenzo trying to up his game, 3 lengths back in second place. Heltenium is the leader though. Over the last, Heltenham over the final fence, 4 lengths clear. A big race success for Dan Skelton. Vincenzo is trying to close here. Heltenham clinging on, he's idling, and Vincenzo and Blow Your Wad is coming strongly out of the pack as well. But Heltenham held on to win it. My word, that was a breathless success. He looked as though he was going to win easily. Blow Your Wad finished very strongly indeed into second place. But Dan Skelton, who's Protectorat, won up at Kelso today. He's won here the Greatwood Gold Cup. And Heltenham, with 10 days to go to Cheltenham, Mark, is an appropriate winner. But that's a big one for Dan Skelton. Dan, of course, wants success at the Cheltenham Festival. He wants it badly. But he also wants to be champion trainer this year. And he's just added a significant chunk of money, over 50 grand, to his pot for the season. At odds of 20 to 1, Heltenham has won the big race here at Newbury today. Charlie Todd, the winning rider.
Thank you very much, John. John and the team will bring you every race from Cheltenham when that gets underway in a few days' time. You'll hear them all on 5 Live and on Sports Extra. Let's go to Bromley, where I told you Accrington had equalised against the League 2 leaders. Sam Ashew.
Yeah, 10-man Accrington level against the league leaders, Mark, and it came from Dave Abimbola. It was simple, a long throw, and Abimbola flicked it into the back of Grant Smith's net. His first goal for the club on his first start. And the half-time whistle has just gone at Hayes Lane as well. That was after Michael Cheek made it 1-0 to the league leaders. But at half-time here in South East London, it's Bromley 1, Accrington 1.
Let's go back to the Premier League, where Everton are continuing their good away form. Lee Blakeman.
Great game this has been, Mark. Newcastle 1, Everton 2. It's been wide open. Everton ahead inside 20 minutes. Branthwaite with the header off a Ghana corner. Glancing across goal, in off the far post. Really well taken. Newcastle level through Ramsey, put in a shot from inside the D. Big deflection to take it past Pickford, put it over him actually. But less than 2 minutes later, Everton back ahead. McNeil with a shot from distance. Pope with the save. Made a hash of it though. Parried it straight back out to Beto, who scored his 5th of the season on the follow-up. Newcastle 1, Everton 2.
Can't believe the home fans were happy at half-time at Turf Moor. Maz Faruqi.
Absolutely not. Burnley 1, Brentford 3. 34 minutes on the clock here. We could see Burnley fans already leaving Turf Moor. At that point, their side were 3-0 down, although they have now pulled a goal back, that own goal from Michael Kyoto in first half stoppage time. At 34 minutes, that was when Brentford's third goal went in. That was poked in by Kevin Sharder. They were ahead, the visitors, after 9 minutes. Again, a very simple goal to concede from a Burnley defensive perspective. The header from Mikel Damsgaard from a corner. Igor Thiago making it 2-0 after 25 minutes before Brentford then got their third goal 9 minutes later. Scott Parker is absolutely absolutely furious on the touchline on the far side, although he has now got that own goal, a goal back for his side to try somehow to build something in the second half. Burnley 1, Brentford 3 at half-time.
Let's go into the Scottish Premiership, where Hearts are extending their lead at the top. Connie McLaughlin.
They are Hearts 1, Aberdeen 0. Job done so far for Hearts, as you see, as the hunt for the title continues. They opened the scoring on the half hour. The architect for that was Landry Caboni, but it was executed superbly by Claudio Braga. Who else? Tapping home for his 12th goal of the Scottish Premiership season so far. And what a crucial goal it could end up being, particularly with a certain big Glasgow 2 playing tomorrow. 7 points the difference as it stands at the top of the Scottish Premiership. Hearts, the difference over Rangers. Right at half time it is. Hearts 1, Aberdeen 0.
As things stand, Motherwell going to within a point of Celtic, so they are not out of it either. They lead Dundee United by 1-0 at the break. Elsewhere, Dundee 1, Hibs 1, Falkirk 3, Kilmarnock 1, and Livingston 0, St Mirren 1. Elsewhere in Scotland in the Championship, Adrionians 1, 10-man Morton 1. Dunfermline lead Queen's Park by 1-0. Goalless between Partick Thistle and Arbroath. Ross County 2, Wraith 0, and the leaders St Johnstone lead Ayr by 2-1. In League One, East Fife 0, Alloa 1, Hamilton 0, Montrose 1, Kelty Hearts 0, Inverness 0, Queen of the South 0, Peterhead 1, and Stenhousemuir 1, Cove Rangers 0. And in League 2, Clyde 1, East Kilbride 0, Edinburgh City 0, Forfar 0, Spartans 1, Annan 0, Stirling 1, Dumbarton 0, and Stranraer 1, Elgin 1. Back into England in the Championship at lunchtime, Derby beat Blackburn 3-1, Leicester 0, Norwich 2, and Portsmouth 0, Hull 1. In the 3 o'clock games, how are the leaders Coventry doing? Julia Bold.
It's Coventry 1, Stoke 1 at the break. The home side should have had this one put to bed, though. The opener came on 12 minutes. De Silva looping the ball in high, left to right, headed in close range by top scorer Hadji Wright. It had been one-way traffic all of this first half. Stoke had their keeper, Tommy Simkin, to thank for keeping it to only 1. He stopped chance after chance from the home side. The visitors were poor, but in the 4th minute of added time, they've snatched one back. Sorba Thomas on a corner, ball right into the 6-yard box, headed in by Ben Gibson. Coventry 1, Stoke 1.
Millwall, as things stand, going to within a point of Middlesbrough in second. Sani Rajavajala.
Preston 0, Millwall 1. Should be more, but Ryan Leonard's first goal in the league in near 5.5 years, the difference. Dropped to him from a free kick, curling side foot finish. Coburn hit the bar before that, and Negley on the bounce, 30-yard screamer. Cornell's outstretched palm, the final touch of the first half. At the break, it's Preston North End 0, Millwall 1.
Ipswich keeping up the chase as well. Emily Herbert.
And they're comfortable. It's Ipswich 2, Swansea 0. Started early, 3 minutes in. Mametti lashing it into the top corner, dominating the first half, and then 3 to the break. Azon squeezing home from a tight angle to find the far side netting. As it stands, Ipswich moved to within 3 points of the automatic promotion spots with a game in hand. Half time, Ipswich 2, Swansea 0.
Good first half for Wrexham 2, Jonathan Ledyard.
Yes, and so much good work by Charlton, creating 3 golden opportunities which they wasted. They were then punished by Wrexham's only shot on target for this 1-0 lead. Ollie Rathbone on the half-hour. Home defence, where were they? Phil Parkinson, though, I reckon will want a word with his defence, because they've been opened up way too easy down the left, only to be saved by last-ditch tackles. Easy to see why Charlton have scored so few goals recently. Confidence rock bottom. They're getting no points at the moment. They're losing 1-0 to Wrexham.
Another tough afternoon for the home fans at Hillsborough. Adam Cottier.
Indeed, a spirited performance from Sheffield Wednesday, but they're 2-0 down to Southampton, who are one of the teams just below Wrexham in the Championship. James Bree poked home the first after the goalkeeper had not claimed the ball from a cross from the left, and Ryan Manning curled in a free kick in first half added time. It is Sheffield Wednesday 0, Southampton 2.
With Leicester losing earlier at home to Norwich, real chance for West Brom this afternoon to try and open up a bit of a gap between themselves and the bottom 3, particularly when they're at next to bottom Oxford. But Angus Patterson.
It's Oxford 2, West Brom 1. Stan Mills' opener for Oxford came from a corner in the 14th minute, and Will Lancashire doubled their lead heading in from a free kick. But West Brom have played well and showed courage, and substitute Ollie Bostock's deflected strike in the 33rd gave them hope. Both sides desperately need a win here. As it stands, it's Oxford halving the distance between them and safety from 6 to 3 points. At the break is Oxford 2, West Brom 1.
In League One, Leyton Orient 1, Barnsley 3, and Northampton 1, Peterborough 1 were the results from earlier on. We're with the top two. Leaders Cardiff are winning at Doncaster, but second place Lincoln are winning as well at home to Blackpool. Mark Webber.
Yeah, Lincoln City 1, Blackpool 0. Conor McGrandles became the Lincolnshire poacher 38 minutes in when he headed home a bobbling ball in a crowded area inches from the Blackpool net. It's a goal which sort of highlights the stats showing a Lincoln dominance. Blackpool could have caused a scare when Tom Bloxham forced a super save 20 minutes in from inside Lincoln's area. But it's McGrandles' goal that's calmed the Lincoln locals so much, Mark, that they felt they could head to the T-bar 8 minutes early. 1-0.
And details of Cardiff's lead at Doncaster from Rob Law.
Doncaster 0, Cardiff 1, an open game, both sides threatening early on, but Cardiff have just been more clinical, Mark. The league leaders got their breakthrough thanks to an inch-perfect pass from Dylan Lawler, which released Alex Robinson inside the box. Still had a lot to do. He controlled it high on his chest before lashing the ball home. Doncaster responded well. Harry Clifton and Brandon Hanlon have both had chances but failed to test Nathan Trott in the Cardiff goal. If it stays like this, Cardiff will remain top of the table. You do still feel there's goals in this, though. Doncaster 0, Cardiff 1.
Apologies to QPR and Sheffield United fans in the Championship. I forgot to give that half-time out. QPR, although QPR fans might not want to know it. QPR 0, Sheffield United 2. Callum O'Hare with his 9th of the season and Tyrese Campbell with his 6th of the season, the goal scorers for Chris Wilder's side. Back into League One. Exeter 0, Bolton 1. Sam Dolby with his 11th of the season for Bolton, who are in 3rd at the moment. Mansfield lead AFC Wimbledon 2-1. Port Vale 1, Luton 1. Jack Wilshire's side taking the lead through Naki Wells. Ben Wane's 6th of the season, equalising for the bottom of the table side. Reading 0, Bradford 0. Rotherham lead Plymouth by a goal to 0. Stevenage 1, Stockport 1. Wigan 0, Huddersfield 0. And Wickham 1, Burton 0. In League 2, earlier, a late MK Dons penalty prevented Cambridge from going top of the table. They drew 1-1 at the Abbey. Shrewsbury 1, Walsall 2, and Swindon 1, Bristol Rovers 1. The other results from lunchtime. At half-time in the 3 o'clocks, Barnet 0, Chesterfield 0, Barrow 0, Gillingham 0. As we were hearing earlier, leaders Bromley 1, 10-man Accrington 1. Colchester and Salford are goalless. Tranmere, who have lost 8 of their last 9, lead at Crewe at the break by a goal to 0. Fleetwood and Newport are goalless, as are Notts County and Grimsby, and Oldham lead Crawley by a goal to 0. In the National League, Aldershot 0, leaders Rochdale 1, Brackley 0, Altrincham 1, Eastleigh 0, Carlisle 0. Halifax 1, Sutton 1. Forest Green Rovers are a goal up at Gateshead. Scunthorpe 0, Solihull Moors 2. Tamworth 1, Boreham Wood 0. And Truro 1, Braintree 1. Second half from Anfield to come. It's 4:01. Here's Nick Qureshi.
The voice of the UK.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
US and Israeli forces have carried out joint strikes across Iran. President Trump says its missile industry will be obliterated and its navy annihilated. Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu claims the operation will remove the existential threat posed by the country. Iran has launched retaliatory strikes targeting Israel and US military bases in the Middle East. Its armed forces are calling it a crushing response. Britain was not involved in the morning strikes, but Sir Keir Starmer has had this to say.
Our forces are active and British planes are in the sky today as part of coordinated regional defensive operations to protect our people, our interests and our allies.
The UN Secretary-General has condemned the military escalation, warning it's undermined international peace and security. An emergency meeting of the Security Council has been called for tonight. And airlines serving the Middle East have cancelled or diverted flights. BA, Virgin Atlantic and Wizz Air are among the carriers to scale back their schedules. We'll have more 5 Live news later. You can also follow events online on the BBC News Live page, listen to BBC Sounds and watch the BBC News channel.
Good morning, everyone. It is 5 Live Breakfast.
Kick off your morning with the biggest stories and the headlines everyone's talking about.
The diplomats involved in these talks have gone to ground. Nobody is saying a word.
This is 5 Live Breakfast.
And we're on the ground at the world's biggest sporting events.
Bringing you reaction, insight and exclusive interviews.
UEFA got what they wanted as well with the provisional one-match ban.
Wake up with 5 Live Breakfast, weekdays from 6.
Ask your smart speaker.
Play BBC Radio 5 Live. This is 5 Live Sports with Mark Chapman.
Listen on BBC Sounds.
The men's T20 World Cup, Pakistan have given themselves a good chance of victory, but it will be the margin of victory that will determine whether they make it to the semi-finals or not. Dan Norcross.
Yes, they've got to restrict Sri Lanka to 147 or fewer, having scored 212 themselves. So a victory of 65 runs or more. And we've got one ball left of the power play, 5.5 overs gone. 43 for 2 Sri Lanka. They've lost a dangerous Kamal Mashara for 26, and Patum Nisanka, century maker already in this tournament, he's gone for 3 earlier. A magnificent opening partnership of 176 between Fakhar Zaman, who got 84, and Sahib Zada Farhan, the leading run scorer in the tournament, who made 100, have given Pakistan this chance. It's a very good wicket, but Sri Lanka are going to be targeting the 213, and in so doing, that gives Pakistan the opportunity to take those crucial wickets and restrict them to 147 or fewer, knock out New Zealand and get a semi-final berth against South Africa.
Thank you, Dan. You can listen to that via the BBC Sport website. They're just back underway at Anfield, where I suppose the big question of half-time was there an offer on the pies?
Well, they must have been good, because I heard Maz Faruqi tell you that the supporters were leaving Turf Moor early.
Yeah.
We are back underway, and Liverpool are leading West Ham United by 3-0, and neither side has made a change. So Alisson in goal, Gomez, Van Dijk, Konate and Kirkes, Szoboszlai, Gravenberch, McAllister, Salah, Ekitike and Gakpo. And for West Ham, Hermansen in goal, back four of Wan-Bissaka, Mavropanos, Disasi and Malik Diouf, Magassa, Souček, Fernandes, Bowen, Castellanos and Somerville. Stephen Warnock.
Yeah, no pies at half-time, but your new chocolate bar, the Skinny Whip. Care to elaborate?
No. Other bars are available.
Of course they are.
Here is Gravenberch to Kirkes. What is this, open season all of a sudden? Ekitike towards Konate. I was generous, at least I gave you one. Team player. Here is Gomez, forward then towards Szoboszlai. Still the blue skies and the sun shining, but it's only now in a quarter of the field as we look from our lofty position here in the main stand, right of the halfway line. So as West Ham attack that Anfield Road end, the side where their supporters are, and in fact they didn't appear, so the offer for the pies after all wasn't such a good deal because they actually haven't returned. There are, clear to see, a lot of empty seats in the West Ham end, and so as a result they've decided to head back south. Motherwell 2, Dundee United 0, and West Ham get the ball away, and there's been another goal at Doncaster in League One. Rob Law.
And yet more comfort for Cardiff City. They are 2-0 up at Doncaster. Dylan Lawler involved again from one end of the pitch to the other to finish coolly. It's Doncaster 0, Cardiff 2.
Remember, Lincoln City second on the table were leading Blackpool by 1-0. Earlier, Leyton Orient 1, Barnsley 3. That was their first win in 9 away from home for Barnsley, and Northampton 1, Peterborough 1 was the result. In League 2, the results: Cambridge 1, MK Dons 1, Shrewsbury 1, Walsall 2, first win in 8, and Swindon held at home by Bristol Rovers 1-1. Here is Bowen running forward, attacking the Kop on this near side, tries to go the long way round, goes to his feet, gets back to his feet, but there is Van Dijk to sweep the ball away up towards Ekitike with a goal and assist to his name already. He loses the ball, Bowen digs it back to Mavropanos, and 2 minutes into the second half, I mean, that third goal just before the break is a killer blow as far as West Ham are concerned. As here is Bowen to Fernandes. Fernandes sends over the cross. Konate brushes off the top of his head. Malik Diouf drives it back in, and Souček throws himself at it. And inside the 6-yard box, Souček gets West Ham United on the score sheet and gives them faint hope. Liverpool 3, West Ham 1.
Well, we said in the first half they were dangerous, West Ham, and they've hurt Liverpool. Liverpool have been fortunate in that first half, and it was a strange one. This is going to go to VAR because Jared Bowen looks like he's just playing right on the edge as he receives the ball on the right-hand side down in front of us, but they don't deal with the ball in. Konate doesn't deal with it. Diouf, he lashes a ball back across the 6-yard line, and Souček, he's done it so many times in his West Ham career. He arrives on time, and it's a very important goal. And could it just swing in their favour? Could they get a little bit of momentum? The West Ham players are asking the question now, why is it going to VAR? but it was that first initial ball out to Jared Bowen where he was potentially offside down in front of us.
Did Liverpool's defence have enough time to reset, do you feel?
No, I don't. No, I'd say no, I wouldn't, because I think that the speed in which it happened, I think that this is the one, Denner, we're just seeing it on our screens, but after seeing the goal away at Nottingham Forest last week for Liverpool, I think everyone thought that was offside, and then you miss a player or you miss the line ever so slightly, you misjudge it. This is going to be very, very close.
The goal stands. And West Ham United have reduced the arrears. There was no offside offence after VAR had the check. Liverpool 3, West Ham United 1. But there's been another goal at Turf Moor, Masfarouki.
And the fight back could be on here. Jadon Anthony's right-footed shot took a deflection, but it beat the keeper. It's Burnley 2, Brentford 3.
So they were 3-0 down at one stage. West Ham United here have just got it to 3-1. It was funny though, because Liverpool, there was never a sense of any danger after it brushed off the head of Konate.
Yeah, I just feel like the Liverpool fans felt like Konate should have done better with it. He almost misjudged the flight of the ball, but I think the interesting thing was that first half wasn't a 3-0 game. I'm just laughing, Dan. I'm watching all the West Ham fans start to trickle back in. They're starting to reappear, and you can see all the West Ham fans as if to say, you've just missed a goal, you know, we're back in this.
6 minutes into the second half. Tell you what, the next goal will be very interesting. Ekitike, because if West Ham can get a second, there were flashes in that first half, but here is Salah. Salah central position to Gravenberch. A strange sort of game. Gravenberch then passes the ball away. I wouldn't say that Liverpool have been entirely convincing, would you?
No, not at all. I think West Ham have showed their capability. They've showed what they're capable of doing. Liverpool have been sloppy, and essentially 2 of the goals have come from set pieces. I know the McAllister one's an extremely good finish, and you have to say the quality in for the set pieces has been good. They haven't cut West Ham open all too many times, Liverpool.
Oldham Athletic 2, Crawley Town 0 is the latest score in League 2. West Ham, who've had just 3 wins in 63 top-flight visits to Liverpool. And indeed, it's only 1 win in their last 58 since 1963. So it has been far from a happy hunting ground. As here is Wan-Bissaka. Ball inside, goes behind Souček and straight towards Gravenberch, who hits it early and hits it forward to Ekitike. Ekitike in the area, crosses the ball, but behind Szoboszlai. Groans of frustration from the Liverpool supporters.
Well, if anyone getting the ball you'd think would take it on in a 1v1 situation, it'd be Ekitike. Brilliant ball from Gravenberch to spray it into his path, and you're thinking, just hit it. West Ham will be delighted that he never.
Here is Gakpo, threads it through. Szoboszlai left-hand side with the cross. Ekitike with his back to goal. Gravenberch forward. Gomez in support. Salah wide right of the penalty area. Salah holds on to the ball. Gomez makes the run behind the Egyptian. Here is Mo Salah, but he's being forced away from the penalty area. And now here is McAllister. McAllister with a diagonal ball out towards Gomez, blocked by Malik Diouf, and it goes out for a throw to Liverpool. Update from Newcastle, Lee Blakeman.
Newcastle 1, Everton 2, but we've just had a VAR check for a penalty. Beto brought down edge of the area by Hall. Long check. Myself and James McFadden next to me both looked at each other. We thought it wasn't given though by VAR. Newcastle 1, Everton 2.
Match of the day tonight, BBC 1, 10:30. Brentford, who are 3-0 up, now only lead Burnley 3-2 at Turf Moor. Earlier it finished Bournemouth 1, Sunderland 1. Throw comes in from Gomez, bounces all its way through. He's put it wide, Gakpo. Totally unmarked, inside the 6-yard box, far post. And left-footed, he's blazed it wide.
That's a shank. He shins it. He gets it so wrong, Cody Gakpo. He loves his right foot so much, but this falls to his left. And it's a simple opportunity. He's on the 6-yard box. It's a simple chance for him. And he literally shins it out of play. It's horrible from Cody Gakpo. It should be 4-1.
It's strange, isn't it, as the ball is given away cheaply at the back by Disasi, up towards Ekitike. Ekitike nudges it past Hermansen, goes to ground. Referee Tim Robinson has a look, has a good view of it and says no penalty. VAR will have a look, of course, back at Stotley Park as Malik Diouf tries to release Somerville, gets a second chance to do something with it, and this time passes the ball infield. Falkirk 4, Kilmarn at 1. We're saying Liverpool haven't been totally convincing, yet they could have had 4 or 5 goals.
They could have been more prolific here. I'm just seeing the incident again on our monitors. Ekitike knocks the ball round Mavropanos, then he goes towards the goalkeeper, Hermansen. Hermansen puts a foot out, and just seeing if there's any contact or whether it is a dive. It's a dive from Ekitike. He wants that initial contact. Again, another one, it's simulation, should be booked.
Incidentally, Gakpo has just been booked, which I can only imagine is for dissent from referee Tim Robinson. Mansfield 2, Wimbledon 2. Wimbledon for a second time have equalised. The ball from Fernandez. Gakpo there barged into the back of Souček. I meant to say this actually in the first half. Tim Robinson, the referee. Chris Kavanagh is back involved. He was given last week off after his controversial performance between Villa and Newcastle in the FA Cup, and he will actually be in charge of Manchester United Crystal Palace tomorrow, the man in the middle at Old Trafford. We'll have commentary of that here on 5 Live from 2 after the Old Firm, but he is the 4th official here at Anfield. In fact, yeah, it was for pushing and pulling the opponent, wasn't it, for Gakpo?
Gakpo pulled the shirt. That was what the yellow card was for. The player just got away from him. I think it was Fernandez who got beyond Gakpo. Little pull of the shirt. Correct decision to award him a yellow card.
Stephen Warnock, the former Liverpool and England international, who's with us here at Anfield, where it is Liverpool 3, West Ham United 1. Commentary to come from Ellen Rowe. We'll be getting the team news in around 15 minutes' time. As Magassa out towards Malik Diouf. His cross is at too deep and curls all the way out into the Kop. Another goal in the League One game between Doncaster and the leaders Cardiff. Rob Law.
And it must have been some half-time team talk by Cardiff boss Brian Barry Murphy, because it's now 3-0 to Cardiff City at Doncaster. Across into the box, Jamie Sterry was there to try and defend, but bundling in was Cian Ashford to stab the ball home. It's Doncaster 0, Cardiff 3.
In fact, we'll be getting the team news from Ellen Road a little bit sooner than I'd previously advertised. As Stevenage 2, Stockport County 1 as the latest score. Bromley 2, Accrington Stanley 1. And that is it. We're up to date with the goals as they go in, but we are hearing there is no Erling Haaland. He is not involved at Ellen Road. Manchester City start that game against Leeds United 5 points behind Arsenal. Arsenal-Chelsea live tomorrow, also on 4:30. We've got 8 commentaries for you this weekend. Told you about that goal at Bromley. Details of it now, Sammy Sk.
Yeah, league leaders back in front thanks to another Michael Cheek penalty, his 16th goal of this season. That was after Idris Adeteo was brought down in the box by Dave Abimbola. Bromley 2, Accrington 1.
Just short of the hour mark then here at Anfield. What do you make of the start of the second half, Stephen?
Well, it's been all West Ham. The quality from West Ham's been better. However, Liverpool probably could have scored a couple of goals, and that's the way the game's been. West Ham have created problems for Liverpool, been better going forward, but defensively they look very suspect. And equally, you could say the same about Liverpool, but goals change games, and there's a belief now in West Ham that they can get something out of this.
Salah just tries to guide a header infield to Gakpo, who's gone into a central area at the moment. Ekitike has gone to the left as it currently stands. Liverpool are attacking the Anfield Road end. Hermansen clears it, despite Gakpo continuing to chase after him to close him down. It'll be a Liverpool throw. The ball handed to Kerkez by Nuno Espirito Santo. As here is Szoboszlai. Back with Alisson. Alisson to Konate. Had to be alert because Somerville was closing him down. Chips it across to Szoboszlai, plays it forward. Kerkez gives it to Bowen. Bowen's forward ball to Souček. Surrounded by 3 red shirts, they hunt in packs and they win the ball. McAllister, unfortunate, struck the heels of Ekitike, and in fact there was a foul then on a West Ham player, and it'll be a free kick to West Ham United as Sheffield Wednesday have got a goal back. Sheffield Wednesday 1, Southampton 2, and the team news from Ellen Rowe, John Murray.
Well, as you mentioned, Ian, the news here is no Erling Haaland for Manchester City, not in the team, not on the bench. The talk is of a knee problem that is being managed, but we'll wait until we hear more from Pep Guardiola on that, who will be speaking before kick-off. Leeds United are unchanged, and just the one change for Manchester City, with Shirky coming in for Haaland.
Paul Robinson alongside John, commentary at 5:30, Falkirk 5, Kilmarnock 1. The latest score in the Scottish Premiership. News of that Sheffield Wednesday goal at Hillsborough, Adam Cottier.
Just a third goal in 12 games for Sheffield Wednesday, headed into the net following a corner by Jerry Yates. Sheffield Wednesday 1, Southampton 2.
Well, that early goal at the start of the second half from Souček's certainly means that we've got a little bit more interest than we might have thought at half-time.
Yeah, sometimes when we're working on a game and we're commentating, we're thinking, well, 3-0 at half-time, it's going to be a dead rubber in the second half. Well, certainly not. It's end-to-end.
Here is Ekitike for Liverpool. Kirkes behind him on the overlap, inside the penalty area, down by the byline, delivers the cross towards the far post, cleared away left-footed by Malik Diouf. Wigan Athletic lead Huddersfield Town by a goal to nil as Van Dijk heads that bouncing ball forward, helped on by Kirkes with a back header. Wan-Bissaka tussling with Ekitike, clearly holding Ekitike. Magassa's header towards Bowen, tight. Passing from West Ham, they try to get themselves out of that situation, and now Castellanos passes the ball towards Magassa, but Magassa just didn't have the pace to get there. It was like treading water. And here is Szoboszlai, who towards Alisson had to play that first time because of Somerville. Liverpool have given the ball away, Konate, and West Ham seizing on that, but then they can't keep the ball either. All rather scrappy. Liverpool 3, West Ham 1. Szoboszlai and Kirkes now come forward. Kirkes a little hesitant. His ball easily intercepted by Malik Diouf. It'll cannon away off his shins, and Malik Diouf with his pace will try and get there, and Konate has to slide to touch the ball out of play for a throw.
Well, if anyone watched the game against Nottingham Forest and thought the passing was poor, wait until you see the passing in this second half. It's been abysmal from Liverpool, it really has. They can't find a shirt. You can hear the anxiety around the stadium every time there's a pass incompleted.
And they get a corner kick, but before that corner kick there's been a goal at Turf Moor. Maz Faruqi.
This place is absolutely bouncing. 3-3, Zion Fleming with the equaliser for Burnley. They were trailing 3-0 35 minutes into this match, and it's now Burnley 3, Brentford 3.
Incredible fight back from Scott Parker's side. Exeter City 0, Bolton Wanderers 2 as the latest score in League One. Bolton Wanderers still looking to try and put some pressure on the top two, who are both leading, Lincoln and the leaders Cardiff. West Ham, who are 3-1 down, trying to stage a fight back of their own. Somerville, it's a high corner, drops inside the penalty area, headed out by an onrushing Van Dijk. 62 minutes played. Here is Wan-Bissaka inside the centre circle. Out then to Malik Diouf. He's going to whip this ball in from that left-hand side, and Alisson right down his throat with a confident and comfortable take with both hands. We go back to Newcastle, Lee Blakeman.
So close to an equaliser, still Newcastle 1, Everton 2. Gordon this time in from the right, left foot, 14 yards out, fierce shot, well saved Pickford. Newcastle 1, Everton 2.
Meanwhile, Gomez sent over a cross, caught by Hermansen. You're right, Stephen, it's end-to-end.
Oh, it's a basketball game, absolute end-to-end stuff from both teams, lacking in quality at times in the final third, but it's making for good viewing anyway.
I'm struck by what you said in the first half, you know, that Liverpool, this wouldn't have happened last season. Liverpool don't seem to have any control in this game.
No, they don't have that control as to hold players in the midfield area, stop counter-attacks, to be able to almost just take control of the game on the ball. We talked about the passing ability. Last year they just retained the ball so well in those central areas. This year they can't do it. They can't string passes together. It's almost like a lack of trust beyond when they're passing the ball to each other.
63 minutes played. Liverpool travel to Wolves on Tuesday. It's an 8:15 kickoff. You'll hear it live on BBC Radio 5 Live, as every game next week in the Premier League we will have covered for you. Mavropanos, forward ball towards Bowen, holds off Kirkes.
I hope they have pie deals there, Dano.
Here is Somerville. Somerville running forward, man over is Malik Diouf. He's forced a fraction out wide, still controls the ball, sends over a curling cross. It's a deep one. Wan-Bissaka though will retrieve it, pulls the ball back towards Magassa. Magassa now with a cross, headed out by McAllister, fired back in by Fernandes, took a deflection and then Alisson made the save.
Really good hands from Alisson, because he had to make sure he held the ball, because if he doesn't, he had a couple of players, Castellanos and Jared Bowen, running in on top of him, waiting for anything to spill out. But they're struggling here, Liverpool. They can't get close to players. West Ham players have got far too much time on the ball to pick out players, to pick out shots and crosses. And you can just sense that they need to do something here, Liverpool, whether it's a change personnel or tactics.
Yeah, at the minute there are substitutes warming up, but no sign of anybody coming on from Arne Slot, who watches on. Somerville coming forward. Fernandez, his ball cut out by Canate, and then Fernandez literally throws McAllister to the floor. Referee plays the advantage. Szoboszlai comes forward with the ball. Out towards Salah. Salah cuts inside. Still going Salah. Into the D. Shoots! Off target, goal kick. Still Liverpool lead by 3-1. Barnet 1, Chesterfield 0 is the latest score in League Two. Chesterfield, who are unbeaten in 6.
Just keeping an eye on referee Tim Robbins there, going across to Fernandez, just having a little quiet word with him. I like him. He's got such a nasty streak in him. He's quite nasty in that midfield area, but give him the ball. Wow, he can play as well. He's a good player.
Back to Newcastle, Lee Blakeman.
Everton have hit the bar. Beto went through on goal, one-on-one, just the goalkeeper to beat. It came back off the crossbar. Here go Newcastle down the other end, looking for Gordon. Can't quite get there at the back post. This is brilliant, this. Newcastle 1, Everton 2.
Well, it looks like top 5 will get Champions League qualification for next season, and Liverpool would move level with Manchester United on 48 points with a victory here today in pursuit of that. As Kirkes with a throw down the left-hand side, headed out by Mavropanos. Bradford City are leading Reading by a 0-0. Bradford City, who are 4th this morning, are a 1-0. That is Reading are one of their pursuers, actually, in their quest for a playoff position. Remember, the top 2, though, are well clear. Cardiff and Lincoln, and both still lead. Gakpo with a throw, from the throw. Back touches it towards Gravenberch, just pulled back by Somerville. And referee Tim Robinson will give the free kick. Gravenberch has stayed down. Still the home team lead by 3-1. Leeds United, Manchester City commentary to come at 5:30. Remember, tomorrow, Rangers Celtic from midday, Manchester United Palace from 2, Arsenal Chelsea at 4:30. The games at Fulham and Brighton on Sports Extra 2, Sports Extra and Sports Extra 2 respectively. Approaching the midway point, here is Van Dijk, hoists it high, out towards Salah. Malik Diouf deals with it. Senegal international clears downfield, runs out of play for a Liverpool throw. And still neither side is looking at making a change.
No, he hasn't had the effect again today, Salah, hasn't he? Doesn't really look too dangerous. Diouf's dealt with him relatively well. Another problem for Liverpool, throwing a ball right across the pitch, and West Ham now pinch it back and they're on the attack.
Here is Ekitike. Certainly doesn't feel secure, this lead for Liverpool, despite the fact that they have a 2-goal cushion, 3-1. There's 2 balls on the pitch.
He's going to get booked now, Castellanos. What is he doing?
He picked up a loose ball and tossed it in the direction at the back of Ekitike. He was fortunate to get away with a yellow earlier for a blatant dive. Tim Robinson just has a friendly word with him. And Liverpool come forward with Canate. Almost the entirety now of the pitch is in the shadows. There is only a faint sunshine on that far side, as those in the top tier of the Anfield Road end away towards our left are now still having the sun direct in their faces. As here is Alisson, all in green in front of the Kop. It's going to go long, right-footed, towards Salah. Disasi, downward header, then played back by Malik Diouf towards his goalkeeper Hermansen. So midway through the second half, Liverpool 3, West Ham United 1. Fernandez, he swept it early and first time went straight through towards Canate. Here is Szoboszlai, away from Souček. Gravenberch, Ekitike has dropped off, collects the ball now. Gomez joins the attack right-hand side, sliding Somerville will concede the corner kick. Corner kick to Liverpool, far side the right, they lead 3-1.
Yeah, he works hard, Somerville, does his defensive duties extremely well. He's dangerous when he gets the ball, but when you're down at the bottom of the league and you're away from home against Liverpool, you need players who are going to dig in, dig deep as well. He's certainly trying his best for his team today.
The goal actually against Queen's Park Rangers sparked a little bit of a goal flurry. He had gone 28 Premier League games without a goal. He's now scored 4 in his last 6. He's been busy, he's been industrious, but he's now got to do some defensive duties to keep an eye on Szoboszlai. As the corner kick from Salah is delivered far side the right, and Disasi helps out his goalkeeper to head the ball away. He was floundering at that, was Hermansen. Exeter City have got a goal back. Exeter 1, Bolton Wanderers 2 in League 1. Kirkes delivers the cross, blocked by Wan-Bissaka. Falls now towards Gravenberch. West Ham don't come too far out of their defensive positions. Here now is McAllister, short forward ball. Ekitike, left corner of the penalty area. Gakpo provides the width, comes onto the ball now, enters the area. Gakpo shoots with the aid of a deflection. Cody Gakpo gets the 4th goal, and the 200 goals are up for Arne Slot. They lead West Ham by 4 goals to 1, and surely that will be that for Liverpool, and West Ham still in trouble.
Yeah, huge sigh of relief around Anfield, because they know how important that goal is and could be. It's been tough since West Ham got the goal in this second half, but Gakpo on that left-hand side, I just don't understand what Wan-Bissaka's doing. As Gakpo picks the ball up, he backs off, and I'm thinking, you have to show him the line, you cannot show him inside. He shows him inside, he allows him to come in on that right foot. As he shoots, it takes a little deflection off Thomas Souček, and it just goes past the goalkeeper. He doesn't stand a chance of getting anywhere near it. There's just no pressure on Cody Gakpo at all. Liverpool won't care. They found themselves 4-1 ahead.
So a double century of goals for Arne Slot, and for another Dutchman, he nears a half century. That was goal 49 for Cody Gakpo since he arrived from PSV. Dundee 2, Hibs 1 is the latest score in the Scottish Premiership. Burnley Brentford, 6 goals for Maz Faruqi this afternoon.
A completely different Burnley team in this second half. Leslie Ugo-Chukwu on as a sub in this second half with a good opportunity, tight angle from the left, running onto the ball in the area. Burnley look the side more likely to go on and win this match now, which is incredible to say. Burnley 3, Brentford 3.
Well, still keeps alive their extremely faint hopes of getting out of trouble. That point would take them to 20. They would be 7 points behind Forest, who go to Brighton and Hove Albion tomorrow. Queen's Park Rangers have got a goal back. QPR 1, Sheffield United 2 is the latest score in the Championship. 3-3 at Turf Moor then. Newcastle 1, Everton 2, and it is 4-1 here to Liverpool. Just gone 4:30. In an hour's time we'll be across the Pennines at Ellen Road, but before that we've got Sports Report here on 5 Live. We'll bring you as much results and reaction as we can with Mark Chapman as the ball is cleared long by Disasi, and Van Dijk was adjudged to have been fouled by Castellanos. Free kick to Liverpool. Stephen.
Yeah, just keeping an eye on what was going on the Liverpool bench. It looked like Ngamo was called back, and then he just wandered down the tunnel, so whether he's being told that he might be coming on and he's just going for a little toilet stop beforehand, but it does look like West Ham are looking to make a change or two.
Adama Traore is one of the players who's going to be coming on, reunited with Nuno Espirito Santo from his time at Wolves, signed for £1 million from Fulham in January, a deal that runs till the end of the season with an option to extend it. So Adama Traore getting his final instructions. But it's asking a lot now for West Ham with 17 minutes remaining. As now Kirkes linking up with Ekitike, he's overrun that, and Souček running back in his penalty area, tidies up back towards his goalkeeper, who scoops it out back towards Bowen, and Bowen just volleys the ball away. Sheffield Wednesday 1, Southampton 3. So Southampton have got a 3rd goal in South Yorkshire as Konate running back under pressure from Castellanos, and there was a trip there by Castellanos on Konate, and that will be a free kick. So it means that West Ham are looking at 11. They'll have lost 11 visits now to Anfield in all competitions, and the aggregate score would be 9 in favour and against would be 34.
Well, fair play to the West Ham fans for coming, because you'd have to think, well, what's the point in making the journey? But I think there have been parts of the game today where they were thinking, we can get at Liverpool, we can get something out of this game, but yeah, they've let themselves down.
Well, of course, you can have your say. 6:06 at 7:30. Aaron Paul and Chris Sutton. 08085909693. Lee Unlove has been sent off for Notts County, as here is Somerville, and Somerville forces a save out of Allison. He's never given up all day, Somerville. Hits a left-footed, tipped over by Allison. It was a good save as well. Corner kick for West Ham, goal at Portman Road, Emily Herbert.
Ipswich 3, Swansea 0. George Hurst to tap in after Davis done all the work, pickpocketed the defender on the edge of the box, pinged it in and met the outstretched leg of Hurst. 15 to go, Ipswich 3, Swansea 0.
Should just say as well, it is still Notts County 0, Grimsby 0, with Notts County down to 10 men. This morning, you know, the top 5 in League 2 were separated by just 4 points. Bowen with a corner kick, it's an in-swinger, far post, in! Castellanos at the far post, despite the best efforts of Allison. And West Ham will not give up. Liverpool 4, West Ham United 2.
Well, it looked so uncomfortable, Allison, as this corner came in. He was grappling with one of the West Ham players in front of him. He wasn't comfortable at all. He tried to get at the ball, he backed off, and then Castellanos found himself free at the back post. Not the easiest of headers, as it bounces right in front of him. He manages to lift it over the head of Ryan Gravenberg. Really smart finish from Castellanos. And they get themselves another goal here at Anfield.
Exeter 1, Bolton Wanderers 3, and you're up to date with the goals as they go in. Let's just hear about that Southampton third from Adam Cottier.
Scored by Taylor Harwood-Bellis, a left-footed finish following a corner. Sheffield Wednesday have been spirited but can't deal with set pieces. 3-1 to Southampton.
Traore has come on to replace Magassa. Liverpool are going to make a change. Jeremy Frimpong, who's missed the last 5 games, is going to be coming on, and Undamoa is the other player who's going to be coming on. He was actually one of the bright sparks of that unconvincing performance at the City Ground, with a cameo appearance when he came off the bench last week.
Yeah, well, he was the one who beat the player in the 1v1 situation, wasn't it? I think it was Nico Williams. He took on that right-hand side and got to the byline, dinked a lovely ball into the back post area. I think Ekitike should have scored, and McAllister got the resulting goal. But yeah, it's an interesting one with Undamoa. He wants more game time. He feels like he should be getting more game time. And we're seeing now a little bit more week in, week out. He starts to mature as a player.
This is his 10th appearance off the bench in the Premier League. The teenager is yet to start in the top flight. As he comes on, Frimpong comes on, and the players to depart were Joe Gomez and Hugo Ekitike. Liverpool lead by 4 goals to 2. Elsewhere, Burnley 3, Brentford 3, Newcastle 1, Everton 2. Earlier it finished Bournemouth 1, Sunderland 1. We'll get an update from St James's Park, Lee Blakeman.
Newcastle continue to push for an equaliser. Barnes, he's just put one over the bar from 14 yards. Willock's cleared the bar from the edge of the area. Wissa's just come on, 13 to go. Newcastle 1, Everton 2.
Commentary live on Sports Extra. Livingston have equalised at home to St Mirren, 1-1. Crewe 1, Tranmere 1 is the latest at Gresty Road. Fernandez comes forward. Fernandez turns, rolls the ball out towards Bowen. 13 minutes remaining. Bowen with the cross. The committed shirts forward at West Ham. Here is Souček. Souček with the drive, off target, goal kick. And all of a sudden we're back in that position again where there is still that air of uncertainty around Anfield.
Yeah, they're so uncomfortable, the Liverpool fans, with what they're watching. They're all frustrated with Cody Gakpo, as Souček pulled the ball down, didn't even close him down, allowed him to turn, get a shot in at goal. Luckily for Liverpool, it was wild from Souček. But there is that feeling again that West Ham will go at this Liverpool team, and it's how they deal with it.
Exeter 1, Bolton Wanderers 4, Bolton third in League 1. Lincoln City have got a second goal at home to Blackpool. They now lead 2-0 at Sincil Bank. As Salah picks it up, Szoboszlai back inside, Gakpo steadies himself, shot blocked. He had Salah to his side, now he finds the Egyptian inside right channel of the penalty area. Crowded out by the West Ham shirts. Salah attacking the Anfield Road end. Just over 10 minutes remaining here in Anfield. They lead by 4 goals to 2. Frimpong tries to wriggle away, gets a free kick, right-hand side of the area, caught by Somerville. We'll rattle through all the latest scores in all the divisions between now and full time. Then it's Sports Report at 5, and then at 5:30, Leeds United, Manchester City. Commentary, John Murray and Paul Robinson. We'll quickly get that second goal at Lincoln, Mark Webber.
Yeah, 2-0 up, a gifted goal by Blackpool to Lincoln's Rob Street. Got the ball on the edge of the area, just waltzed in and struck it home to make it Lincoln 2, Blackpool 0.
Hearts are still leading Aberdeen by a goal to 0. They will be 7 points clear of Rangers. They will be 9 ahead of Celtic. The Old Firm tomorrow, live on 5 Live from midday. Elsewhere in the Scottish Premiership, Dundee 2, Hibs 1, Falkirk 5, Kilmarnock 1, and Livingston bottom of the table 1, St Mirren 1, and Motherwell lead Dundee United by 2 goals to 0. Latest scores in League 2, League 1 and the Championship to come. Liverpool lead 4-2, all in red. They have a free kick about 6-7 yards up from the byline.
I don't know if you saw there, Somerville picked up a yellow card for that foul on Frimpong. So I thought it was a little bit harsh, but the referee felt it was in a position where Frimpong had just got beyond Somerville, so he felt like he had to give him that yellow card. Spoke to him for a couple of minutes about it.
The ever watchful Stephen Warnock as Salah delivers the free kick and caught by Hermansen. Now remember, Brentford were 3-0 up at Burnley. Burnley got it back. There's just been a 7th goal of the afternoon. Who to? Masfarouki.
And it's gone to Burnley. They lead this afternoon for the first time. It's a 2nd goal of the afternoon for Zian Fleming as well. He attacked it in the Brentford area. Keith Andrews cannot believe what is happening as he watches on the touchline. Burnley 4, Brentford 3.
Well, that is incredible. That would take Burnley to 22 points. They would then be within 5 of Nottingham Forest.
No pressure on the match of the day tonight. Surely that's got to be number 1.
Well, we'll find out at 10:30. Here is Somerville. Somerville gets the ball back. Somerville just over the top as he jinked his way into the penalty area. Couldn't keep the right-footed shot down. That would have set up a very exciting final 9 minutes. Talking of excitement, Hearts at the top of the Scottish Premiership. Conor McLaughlin.
And they're edging closer to extending the lead over Rangers to 7 points, but it's getting spicy. Nicky Devlin and Jamie McCart coming together. McCart's back on his feet and back playing. Devlin had to go off and was brandished a yellow card for his trouble on his way to the bench. Dylan Lobbins on for him. Still just 1 goal in it, 81 minutes on the clock.
Colchester United 0, Salford City 1 is the latest score in League 2. I'll give you the League 2 scores in a moment, but here is Kirkes over the halfway line as Liverpool play from right to left. Leaves it now to Ungamoa. Comes inside away from Traore. Passes the ball now towards Gravenberch. Gravenberch with the shot! And he's just pulled it wide, right-footed from distance. Hermansen at full stretch, out for a goal kick. So the results earlier, Cambridge 1, MK Dons 1, Shrewsbury 1, Walsall 2, and Swindon 1, Bristol Rovers 1. These are the latest scores in League 2. Barnet lead Chesterfield by a goal to 0. That could be the end of their 6-game unbeaten run. Barrow 0, Gillingham 0. Bromley the leaders 2. Accrington Stanley 1. They were down to 10 men after 14 minutes. Colchester 0, Salford 1 we just told you about. Crewe 1, Tranmere 1. Fleetwood Town 0, bottom of the table Newport County 0. As Gakpo picks up the ball, looks for a sliding pass. Ungamoa is onto it. Salah wants it, and instead it takes a deflection, and Ungamoa, but it'll go down as an own goal. It'll go down as an own goal, I'm sure, as Liverpool have got the 5th goal. It was actually Frimpong, wasn't it, who was running away? But that will surely end any sign of a West Ham fight back. Liverpool 5, West Ham United 2.
Yeah, and he just gets stretched, don't they, West Ham, as the ball's played out into that right-hand side, and it's Disasi who puts the ball into his own goal. But it's a brilliant ball from Cody Gakpo out to Frimpong, and he just tries to pick out Mohamed Salah, but then it actually clips Disasi, sends the goalkeeper the wrong way, just goes into the net, and Liverpool now 5-2 up. You think that's far too much for West Ham to do?
Yeah, Disasi own goal. I was just running through the latest scores. Notts County 0, Grimsby 1, Oldham 2, Crawley 0. So Crawley still remain deep in trouble at the bottom of League 2, as now the West Ham supporters are leaving. And there's been a late goal at St James's Park. Lee Blakeman.
It's an equaliser at last for Newcastle. Jacob Murphy with it, ball to the edge of the area. Murphy hit it first time through a crowd, hard and low. It has been coming. 8 minutes to go. Newcastle 2, Everton 2.
But there's been a twist at Turf Moor. Masfarouki.
Yeah, I spoke too soon. That Zian Fleming goal's been scrapped for offside in the build-up, so it remains Burnley 3, Brentford 3, but we've got 8 minutes still here for a dramatic twist.
Told you that Grimsby were leading at Notts County. Hibs have got an equaliser at Dundee. It's 2-2, and you're up to date with the goals as they go in. As now it is with Szoboszlai forward, couldn't find Salah. Back to Newcastle, Lee Blakeman.
Everton are back in front here, and I can't believe what I'm seeing. Less than 60 seconds after the equaliser, Tieno Barry has just bundled in at the back post off a Dewsbury Hall cross. What a game! 7 minutes to go. Newcastle 2, Everton 3.
Going to need an abacus to try and toss up all the goals that we've scored today.
I tell you what did he say about when you score a goal, you're at your most vulnerable, and Newcastle have done that twice today against Everton. Sounds like a brilliant game that leads that.
Yeah, so 7 here, 6 at Turf Moor. That's the reason why I hesitated. I haven't scribbled off on my own crib sheet about that 4th goal.
Well, the problem is that when I saw you today, there was a picture that Gary showed us from 2018, and you said, I can't believe that was 6 years ago, and I was like, no, it's 8. So you can't count.
I've always maintained maths. I'm not very good with numbers, which is bizarre, bearing in mind I do this score service week in, week out. Lincoln 3, Blackpool 0. Mark Webber.
Yes, a 3-0. The goalless scorer, Rob Street, last time comes provider on the right in the area. Passes to Dom Jeffries, the sub. He rolls it in. Lincoln 3, Blackpool 0.
I'm under pressure to get through all the scores before the game's finished. The results earlier in League One: Leyton Orient 1, Barnsley 3, Northampton 1, Peterborough 1. So Doncaster 0, Cardiff 3, Exeter 1, Bolton 4, Lincoln 3, Blackpool 0, Mansfield 2, Wimbledon 2, Port Vale 1, Luton Town 1, Reading 0, Bradford City 1, Rotherham lead Plymouth by a goal to 0, Stevenage 2, Stockport 1, Wigan 1, Huddersfield 0, Wycombe 1, Burton Albion 0. It means that the top 4 in League One are all winning. And Yoni's going to come on for Gravenberch as well. Szoboszlai, incidentally, has been booked as well for Liverpool, as we have 4 minutes remaining. And where will we go next? Atif Nawaz watching the cricket.
Yes, it looks like Pakistan are going to win the battle but lose the war here. They're closing in on victory against Sri Lanka here in the T20 World Cup, but they needed to restrict Sri Lanka to 147 to qualify for the semi-finals. Otherwise, New Zealand would go through. At the moment, Sri Lanka 27 runs away from knocking Pakistan out of the World Cup, even if they do lose this match.
Commentary on Sports Extra 2. So Anyoni comes on for his 14th appearance, replacing Gravenberch. Liverpool leading West Ham by 5 goals to 2. The results earlier in the Championship: Derby 3, Blackburn Rovers 1, Leicester 0, Norwich City 2, Portsmouth 0, Hull City 1. Latest scores: Charlton 0, Wrexham 1. Phil Parkinson's side looking for a 5th win in 7. Coventry City the leaders against Mark Robbins, their former manager, drawing 1-1 against Stoke City. Ipswich 3, Swansea City 0, Oxford 2, West Bromwich Albion 1. And Gamoa dancing his way in the penalty area, one-handed save by Hermansen keeps him out. Oxford United 2, West Brom 1, Preston 0, Millwall 1, QPR 0, Sheffield United 2, relegated Sheffield Wednesday 1, Southampton 3. And in the Premier League, the result: Bournemouth 1, Sunderland 1, Burnley 3, Brentford 3, Newcastle 2, Everton 3. Commentary to come of Leeds, Manchester City, as we go back to Coventry and Julia.
Coventry 1, Stoke 1, and Coventry are putting everything they can into the box. Frank Lampard is kicking every ball. They can't break down Stoke. It's Coventry 1, Stoke 1.
Wycombe 2, Burton Albion 0. Now Dundee 2, Hibs 3. Reading have got an equaliser against Bradford City. Reading 1, Bradford City 1 in League One. We've got 2.5 minutes remaining. Stephen.
Yeah, just keeping an eye on Mavropanos as he collided with Milos Kerkez and went down to ground almost like he got a blow to the ribs, but it was Ngamoa who picked the ball up on the left-hand side. Huge cheers as he took on 2 players, managed to get his shot away, and then just the crowd shouting his name out as they chanted Rio. They love him here. They're desperate to see him on the pitch more, and just flashes that you see from him show why everyone's so excited for him.
Well, here is Kerkez waiting to take the throw. Gets the ball back. We're inside the last 2 minutes of normal time. It was going to be a double substitution now for West Ham United. Wycombe 3, Burton Albion 0 is the latest score, and Lincoln have rattled in a 4th against Blackpool. They're going to go 17 games unbeaten, and so Lincoln 4, Blackpool 0 from Sincil Bank. The 2 players who are going to be coming on for West Ham, Mohamedou Kante, and the other player is going to be Ezra Mayers, who's going to be coming on for West Ham. who travel to Fulham on Wednesday night in their next Premier League game. That relegation situation, Scott Parker will be thinking, oh, if only that goal hadn't have been disallowed. And they threatened to go 4-3 up at Turf Moor when they were 3-0 down. As it stands, it's 3-3. West Ham now with Malik Diouf. Behind for a corner kick. Last touch came off. Salah, we're inside the last 6. Oh no, goal kick it'll be. Stephen. In fact, we'll get the news of the goal from Mark Webber at Lincoln.
Yes, 4-0, 17 games unbeaten now for Lincoln, surely. Sir Brian One on the area, narrow angle lock-in, Lincoln 4, Blackpool 0.
Soucek's coming off, Kante's coming on, Malik Diouf is the other player who's going to come off for Esri Meyers, the 19-year-old defender for West Ham. And we'll just find out how much stoppage time there will be, as Nuno Espirito Santo, who's lost more Premier League games against Liverpool than any other side. This will be a 9th defeat in his career in the English top flight, and we are going to have 7 minutes of added time.
Are you okay?
No.
I just, like, Gary held his fingers up there, and you took so long to work out how many he was holding up.
Can I just say, when my maths is bad...
Oh, I mean, you're having a bad day.
It's not that bad. Here is, talking of number 7, Somerville. Back towards Disasi. Hits the legs of Kante, and then there was caught in the face was Disasi by a stray boot. And that will be a stoppage in play, and Gakpo pleads his innocence to Tim Robinson.
Well, he's worried because he's already been booked that it's a high boot, but it was purely accidental. I mean, he's tried to play it over his shoulder. Disasi's leaned over him to go and win the header, so yeah, purely accidental.
Tranmere Rovers, who were leading for large parts in the game at Gristy Road, they've lost 8 of their last 9, and they've just conceded in injury time. Crewe 2, Tranmere 1 is the latest score in League 2.
I hope the lines held up well at Crewe. They've just put some new lines in, and Gary was there yesterday checking them. He was doing his job, making sure he was doing a good job yesterday.
Oh, teacher's pet.
No, someone's got to... He's the one who makes us work, isn't he? Gets us on the line.
He's not the one who's putting me under pressure. As Frimpong darts forward away over on that far side, he makes good ground on the right. Oh, and put over the top. It was Trey Nyoni who was arriving late in the penalty area, right-footed with the goal gaping.
They couldn't have wished for a better opportunity to score a goal at Anfield. Brilliant from Frimpong down that right-hand side, and that's the difference. That's what he brings. He's more attack-minded. He's so quick, but then he's got the presence of mind to pick out Nyoni. He should do better. He's leaning back. It's almost like he can see the goal before he puts it in the back of the net. Gets a little bit too excited. Blazes it over the bar.
West Ham are fearing relegation. Millwall are dreaming of promotion. They could be moving to within a point of second place Middlesbrough. Sally Rodavagila.
Because they've scored a second here. Preston 0, Millwall 2. Wonderful work down the right-hand flank by Femi Aziz, and he crosses for Luke Cundle to tap home. Preston North End 0, Millwall 2.
And Motherwell have won by 2-0. They've beaten Dundee United. They move to within a point of Celtic to Motherwell. Remember, Rangers Celtic midday live tomorrow afternoon. But here we are into stoppage time. Liverpool 5, West Ham United 2. Liverpool looking for more goals, and Mo Salah will be desperate to end a goal drought of 9 games in the Premier League as he cuts inside and still going. He stumbles and then gives the ball away. Liverpool then try and win it back and succeed. Van Dijk towards McAllister. McAllister's forward ball to Kerkez. Back with Van Dijk. What a strange game it's been, hasn't it?
It's been very odd. I mean, it's been poor at times from Liverpool. Defensively, West Ham have been all over the place but carried a threat up front. It's been a very, very strange game, very strange atmosphere as well.
Dundee have got an injury time equaliser at home to Hibs. Dundee 3, Hibs 3. Castellanos picks this ball out of the air, controls it, cushion touch with his right boot, waits for the supporting run of Meyers, waits, then passes the ball in field. This is Kante. Tall and lean in the West Ham midfield. Somerville got it, couldn't get there though as it runs through. West Ham though still have the ball in possession, and now this is Somerville once again looking for a shooting opportunity. once scored a winner here for Leeds United against Liverpool. Will be at Leeds for commentary at 5:30 against that game against Manchester City, as West Ham United win a corner. And there has been a late goal at Turf Moor. Who to this time? Maz Faruqi.
Absolute heartbreak for Burnley. Players slumped on the turf because Mikel Damsgaard has scored a fourth for Brentford in the 93rd minute, his second of the match. And after leading this match 3-0 at one point, they now lead again 4-3 Brentford. Burnley 3, Brentford 4, 93 minutes played.
21 goals scored in the 4 games in the Premier League today that you can watch on Match of the Day tonight, BBC One at 10:30. The goals will actually be available on the BBC Sport website from 8, but it'll be extended highlights on Match of the Day. But what an incredible game at Turf Moor. 7 goals there, 7 goals here. Have we got time for an 8th? There's Gakpo with Liverpool leading 5-2. Runs at the heart of the West Ham defence, out towards Salah. Salah enters the area. Salah shoots, blocked and turned behind by Disasi for a corner kick.
Yeah, never passing it, was he, Mohamed Salah? Gakpo wanted it, played back into him. A nice smile from Cody Gakpo as he looks across at Mohamed Salah. Now another opportunity for Liverpool to put the ball into the area, and West Ham have been so poor from set pieces in the way that they've tried to defend them this afternoon.
When I said it was the top 4 all leading in League One, it is the top 3, because Bradford City, who were 1-0 up, have conceded in a 97th minute winner for Reading. Reading 2, Bradford City 1. Corner kick for Liverpool. Other late goals, Doncaster 0, Cardiff 4. In comes the corner kick, headed away at the near post by Bowen. Won't quite reach. For Szoboszlai, West Ham can break. But Hearts have beaten Aberdeen by a goal to 0. So they are 7 points clear of Rangers and 9 points clear of Celtic, ahead of the Old Firm tomorrow. And at the top of the Championship, there's been a goal at Coventry. Julia Bold.
It's Coventry 2, Stoke 1. The league leaders take a very late lead, and it is Jack Rodoni who has got the goal. There was a mess up at the back by Stoke, and it's Coventry 2, Stoke 1.
Exeter 1, Bolton Wanderers 5 is a latest score. That'll be a 4th straight win for Coventry, incidentally. Back to Newcastle, Lee Blakeman.
Newcastle have hit the bar in the 94th minute. Cross cleared, Tonali on the volley, 22 yards out, and Pickford's made the save of the season to tip it onto the bar. Newcastle 2, Everton 3.
Commentary, if that is on Sports Extra. Let's get news of that latest goal for Cardiff. Rob Law.
And it's Callum Robinson, his first since December, to round off a resounding win for Cardiff City to keep them top. Doncaster 0, Cardiff 4.
Here is Somerville for West Ham United. Castellanos wants the ball into the penalty area. He's currently trying to hold his line. Now it bypasses Castellanos towards Bowen. Quickly closed down though by the Liverpool defence, and then Van Dijk clears the ball away. What are your thoughts then, Stephen, as we come to the end of this contest?
Yeah, I think we've seen from Liverpool that it has been that inconsistency that they've had throughout the season. We've seen it throughout the game where some of it's been brilliant, some of it's been really, really poor. From a West Ham point of view, is that they carry a threat. They've got that ability on the break, in positions high up the pitch, but ultimately they've let themselves down today.
Well, our thanks to Stephen Warnock. You'll hear more of him in Sports Report. It has finished. Liverpool beating West Ham by 5 goals to 2. Just 2 defeats in their last 21 now for Liverpool, but for West Ham they remain inside the relegation zone. But Liverpool 5, West Ham 2.
Thank you. Straight to St James's Park. The final whistle has gone. What a game. Lee Blakeman.
What a game, Mark. Newcastle 2, Everton 3. Everton 2-1 up at half-time. Newcastle pushed and pushed for an equaliser after the break. Beto hit the bar for Everton before the home team did equalise through Murphy. Great strike, but less than a minute later, Everton led again at 3-2. Dewsbury Hall with the cross, and Tierno Barry bundled it in with his backside of all parts of his body. Tonali hit the bar in stoppage time. What a save from Jordan Pickford. Everton more away points. Newcastle lose their 3rd Premier League home game in a row. Newcastle 2, Everton 3.
Might as well do a similar thing here. Waiting for the final whistle at Turf Moor. What a game. Maz.
This is ridiculous. The last minute of the 7 minutes of stoppage time, and Brentford are just playing about with it in the corner. They did actually just have a free kick, which was saved by Dubravka, taken quite nicely by Matthias Jensen, just down to the right-hand side of the area. But this is an absolutely ridiculous game that Brentford appear now to have finally wrapped up in the 96th minute. They lead 4.